Is yeah, we're having yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy J Wave in the house, having another live, having another live. Oh yeah, Chinese about to occupy Africa. Yes, but we'll
Oh,
talk.
most definitely.
Like we'll
Most
talk about that. We'll talk about everything today. Okay, for the most part. Today I have a very important guest. Right, this has been a long anticipated one. Monica, I'm gonna
most
send
definitely.
it in the chat real soon. Real like a long anticipated interview. We have our brother Malachi, right? I'm gonna have him introduce himself, right? Also, he's a big time social media mogul. He has a lot of businesses, so he's gonna introduce himself, tell you his handles, everything. Please go follow him. You guys already have him in the TikTok chat, so you can follow him there too if you want. Please, Malachi, introduce yourselves. I mean yourself for us.
What's up? What's up? This is yours truly, Malachi. I'm right here. Want to be an olive branch of love and peace to all the Africans around the globe. Peace and liberation for us all. I'm an entertainer. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an innovator. I'm a futurist, and I'm a servant,
Yes, sir.
servant of the people.
Where would you like them to like? What is your Instagram or your TikTok or what would you like them to be to follow you? You know.
Well, my full name is Malachi Mayer. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I'm a self-owned artist. I own everything from my publishing record label as well as even distribution.
Oh wow.
Um, I have a conglomerate company, Malachi Corp, as well as New Rules. Um, New Rules have a division, a sports division as well, which I give African brothers and sisters opportunities to get into the sports world. I
You
have a
heard
fighter out of
sports. If you play
yeah,
sports and you
yeah.
telling it, contact Malachi, man.
I
He'll
have
put
a fighter right now in Ghana. He's a light heavyweight, Prince Okunardi. He's a killer right now. He's up and coming. Have tech company,
oh wow.
tech industries, and we just had an innovative hyperbaric chamber that's going to be reaching the masses soon. Also have an innovative home concept that we're going to be partnering with Tesla. I have a movie I'm going to be filming. It's a lot. It's a lot I do, man.
Oh
Just
wow.
Google me, man. Malachi Amir.
Malachi Mayer, man. Google him, man. You already heard that. I'm gonna be Googling him. He got a lot of connections. He knows a lot of stuff. So today,
I am African American,
yes.
but I am connected to my people of Africa, of the entire continent. Much love to everyone there. I'm just reading a comment off of your live on TikTok.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Oh, perfect, perfect. Is he African or African American? Perfect.
Yeah.
He is African American.
And that's a complex question for me to answer too, because we're going to get into that. Because I want to also speak on Moors, Hebrews, and Aboriginal. So people in the continent could kind of understand what a lot of African Americans who claim that actually mean.
No,
So
yeah, please, because just from messing with our Egyptian friend, I actually went and did some research and realized that Egyptians are actually the original Egyptians were not like white and like white the way we think of
I'm
them.
going to speak on that. I'm going to speak.
I,
I just got to get Monica in.
okay, I was
I'm going to
shocked.
speak on that.
All right.
And I'm going to show you something I want you to Google, and I want you to buy these books.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So
Okay, okay,
we're
the
going to
live
go
is
into that.
on, guys. Check YouTube. The live should be on. Let me know if it's on too, but it should be on now on YouTube. We're
I
up
just got we got to get Monica in.
we're up and running.
The ancient Egyptians were not black. Yeah, right. You
Shoot,
really would deface your own stuff? Yeah, right.
I thought
Get
the
out of
ancient
here with that.
Egyptians were Arab. I mean, I didn't even think if I just thought they were white. They were like light, like the way the Arabs look. Maybe not
Mhm.
Arabs, but yeah, man. I
But you actually,
looking maybe like not
okay,
looking, but that complexion, that kind of even the Jewish people. You see, they
let me go into that.
yeah,
Let me go into that. The Egyptians today are not the original Egyptians who've been there during the ancient time. It's almost similar to saying the Americans today is
hmm
the original Americans. George Washington, his people always been in America.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
hmm
That doesn't make any sense because you have to understand what Egypt actually was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Can
you
you
have to understand what Egypt actually was to the entire world. And not only that, its parent, which is Nubia, which is the Sudan, Nubia was, I mean, equally advanced. Now, the ancient Egyptians were in fact black, but we also have to deal with the idea of, hold on one second. Yes, aliens think they made the pyramids. They will say everything, but not give it to black
will
people.
give it to every bro?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
But
And
let's get into Arab. Let's get into Arab first, because first thing I'm gonna say, man, I guess we're just gonna start. Let's get into this, man. Let's just go ahead and get into this.
yeah, so exactly. Let's get into it. I see the live
Okay.
right now. I see the live running. So you
I
guys,
really want Monica in here because I want a black woman's perspective too, especially the fact that she is a continental African. In my perspective, I believe. I don't know.
I'm about to put the link in the chat right now because
Yeah, I just need her.
so we're
It's not all climate. That's wrong. It's not all based on climate. But we can go into that some.
well, I
We
love the
can go
fact that
into
you're also in the live on TikTok, so you can answer that while I'm doing this. This is
that.
beautiful.
Yeah. Because they were saying, well, it's climate that's
Yeah,
not true.
Monica,
Because trust me,
Monica.
if it was all based on climate, if it was all based on climate in Egypt, everyone would have melanoma in that motherfucker. Let's be real. It's
That's
not
right.
all based on climate. And one thing you have to understand
Mm,
is that black people are the original people everywhere, everywhere, not just Africa. And this is a proven fucking fact. If you look at European, there's something what's his name? Cheddar Man, for example. You
okay.
have everyone from Cheddar Man to they come up with all types of dumb names to find the original Irish people, the original um Europeans, and they will say they make them dumbass names like Cheddar Man. But Google that as well, just in case if you don't understand what I'm saying.
Shadow Man. Yo,
You can go
I
into
see
that.
Happy found his way into the chat again, huh?
My ground, bro. I
But
just
you're a
can't believe.
respectful guy, so I just
Well, what can't you believe, brother? What can't you believe? Your people see also, okay, I get it because I have to deal with this with the Moorish. North African community is one in which the Arabs think they are the original. The contemporary Arabs think they are the original, but actually we have to understand what exactly is an Arab. You understand?
hmm What is an Arab?
We
Is it
have to realize
north?
something that they are also black Arabs as well. Now, Africa as a continent was not only limited to what we think of Africa today, it's also including the Middle East as well. Now, race has changed throughout time due to wars, cultures, white supremacy, Asian supremacy, different conflicts,
Asian.
different earth things. Because here's the thing: a lot of people don't know about the Grimaldians. You know about the Grimaldians? This
Uh,
what starts it
no.
off.
I've heard of them, but I don't know of them.
Well, the Grimaldians skulls and modern. I don't know. I want to
Yeah,
read the
yeah.
comments too.
It's like compare Pharaoh skull and modern Egyptian, same stuff.
There are proof that there were native up to 12. Yeah. So what do you mean? Who is proof that is up to 12? Exactly 12,000 years ago. That's not long
No,
long
first of all,
enough to get
we're
into
not
ancient.
disrespectful by saying African American has no knowledge. No, we're not here to do that.
No, they could say that. They could say that. I have no problem.
We're
They
here.
can kind of disagree.
No, they could disagree without making those kind of blanket statements. That's kind of ignorant. You know what I mean?
No, see, you got to understand. Here's the thing that's going to clear that up. Here's the thing that's going to clear all of that anger up. You have to understand that black people globally have been under a condition of what I call anti-black supremacy. And what anti-black supremacy, everyone is involved in this, including our own people. The other day you had an issue with the Somali people.
Yes.
Somali people has a beautiful culture. They are a beautiful people, as well as all African people, even from different backgrounds.
True.
We can speak on the white Arab as well, who's in North Africa. All has many different and beautiful cultures. But the problem is we have to be mindful that all of our conditioning is not only social, it's not a social conditioning of our anti-blackness. It's also something that is involved in education. So when they say that, they're saying, you know, I'm wrong because white people didn't fucking tell them. you know,
Yeah.
white people didn't say it. It's not in Harvard. It's not forced on them like they're forcing it in our schools for our children. So to anyone who wants to challenge me in regards to what I'm saying, I there's a book called They Came Before Columbus. And also, please look at Dr. John Henry Clark. And I could give you other people in regards to that. We can go on if you need more references, because I don't want you just to please do not just take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. I want you to investigate yourself. Because a lot of times when I have religious discussions,
Hmm.
you know,
Do you believe?
people get so emotional.
Are you anti-religion or what?
Me?
Are you atheist? Let me say. Not
No, definitely not atheist.
okay. Yes.
What's up?
Yeah. Monica.
What's up?
Hi. Welcome. 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 Yo, Monica, introduce
Mhm.
yourself. Give us your handle as well. Like before we continue this conversation, we know you're our special guest we've been waiting for. We excited you're here.
Yes, North Africans are in fact Arabs, but you're only seeing that through contemporary eyes because there's a lot of things that has happened. The slave trade, the Arab slave trade is what also opened up white supremacist triangular slave trade as well. They all was one people working together in regards to enslaving North Africa. Because you got to understand, and if you are North African, if you are Egyptian, if
Hmm.
you are Moroccan, if you are just North African in general, you have to understand that just how rich the actual heritage is in regards to um, lineage is concerned, because Egypt alone has such a powerful lineage in the world. That's why you know why they constantly digging up in Egypt, which was Kemet, which means black. You know why they keep doing that?
Why?
They're doing that because they're trying to dig as much as they can to find someone who predates the black people that they keep fucking digging up. And
Uh,
so they can say, aha, aha, see, this person is the original, and all of those came after. So this is the original people. But every time they dig, as deep as they go, they're going to keep finding black people. Black people. And I'm only saying black regarding, so please forgive me because I know people just their skin crawl when they hear black. Black is monstrous, you know. But I'm speaking in regards to heavily melanated individuals who are, I'm gonna say, not motherfucking white.
okay. Which
So,
yes, yes, yes. Understood.
not Caucasian, not Caucasian. That's a better term of saying that.
Okay.
Oh,
I've been,
yes. If you ask Egyptian people, are you African or Arab, they will choose Arab. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you got to understand that's all of in a contemporary eyes. We're looking at contemporary now, meaning our times that we're living in now. It's almost like saying, well, if you look at the Native Americans today, they're very light skinned, but my people were natives. My people, well, I'm gonna say Aboriginal in regards to my specific tribes, but
okay.
there's if the Native Americans that we come to understand, like the Pocahontas, which is that's not the correct name.
Mhm. What's the correct
Poca-
name? Just for my
You
African.
gotta you gotta Google her name because I'm not in that. You gotta Google her original.
I'll Google it right now.
You know, but if you talk about brown, no modern, no, yeah, exactly, no modern Egyptians have brown skin. Yes, yes, you're talking, but again, you're talking contemporary. It's almost like saying, well, the original Americans were white men who like George Washington and Christopher Columbus, which is bullshit. It's bullshit because you got to understand Egypt is the gateway for Europe and literally the rest of the world to to enter Africa, which was very, very, especially in the times of um, invasion. There was a strong Arab invasion. Again, you got to
Yeah.
look at they came before Columbus. Also, study John Henry Clark. There's so much information to go into their Moorish history. Um, Brother Cosmo Bay. There's so many people that you can actually reference where you can see who exactly because majority of the Egyptians now
Mm-hmm.
were from the Arab invaders who are Persian, who are Turkish, and look up a fucking map. Look at a map right now. You can if you don't believe me, just look at a map right now. They're Turkish, there was Persians, there
Persians.
was
True.
other Arabs who have a different phenotype but it doesn't mean that they're not necessarily completely black in the time of their first wave of invasions. But we can go into that, you know. Who is this guy?
Oh, is but
Uh,
he's not. I would say he's a cool, and he's a representation of East Africa, and also he's a level-headed person who has a lot of knowledge. So like,
oh yeah, I heard him. I heard him. I
okay,
heard
yeah.
him last
Oh, you read
time.
it last time.
Yeah, the problem is he have with black is he sees it as the social construct, which is we got to understand
Ooh,
is
good conversation
very
right here.
black is very very complex, man. Just the word alone is very complex because you also talking about a people. You're talking about a people. Not only, some people say, well, I saw something in one of your live streams. It could have been uh, the one we was going to do. Um, someone said, well, they don't want to say black because they're disrespecting the African American who has a history. And
It was Abdi.
no,
It was Abdi that said that.
no, 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 no. Because in Africa, see, this is the thing. In Africa, which I stay in Africa all the time. I mean, it's so many countries that I from Morocco all the way down to South Africa, and I have property in Ghana and Nigeria. So, and during this pandemic, in the first wave of their lockdown, my foundation's Rebels Foundation, we helped so many people in Nigeria because the own government lock so much resources away from the people. But
True.
explain what he's talking about, he sees black from the social constructs where a lot of continental Africans and people who not from America kind of see black
Hmm.
as, because it's the dumbest thing in the world to say a people is a color. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
get that.
You didn't
I
grow up
get that
in
part.
America, you won't understand it, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I look at
Right,
black the way you do.
right. Now here's the thing. To educate in regards to that, we have to also look at what's going on in Africa today in reality. You know, in South Africa, and this is when I'm gonna break down the importance of ADOS. I'm gonna use South Africa as a prime example.
Okay.
Okay,
Sure.
and I could use the whole continent as a whole. There are they are in fact white Arab Africans who are Egyptian, North Africans, and even they can be Arab Africans born in any other country. There are also white people who consider themselves African because they're born in Africa. Now, how let's take this in account, and this is why ADOS is important. How do you differentiate? How do you separate and pinpoint a specific people you are talking about? I would love to have another name more powerful than black. But
African American.
when we talk about a fear due to what white supremacy has caused, we have to say black because black has been one of the things that white supremacy has injected over the entire world. So that's why in my reality, I always tell people I like to say anti-black supremacy instead of just white supremacy because as you can see, the Asians are killing our people. You know, in China, they doing crazy things. You know,
Crazy.
they like to hide it under Muslim. You know, I'm trying to send some African brothers and sisters back to their countries because they're locked out during a pandemic. You know, they've been locked out their homes, their businesses, everything in China.
In China.
But and we also have to be mindful that the Hispanics, you in America, you know,
Yes.
can be very anti-black, and
Super.
even our own people who you would think shouldn't be are also conditioned by this same anti-blackness, and we have to start examining that instead of just white supremacy, you know.
Yes, that's very
And
true.
so
That's very true. Because in the Latino community, hair, skin color, all these things are big. Like when
yeah,
you're a black man dating a Latina, you start realizing these things real fast. Even the ones that are darker skin, they're insecure of the fact that they're darker skin, and
yeah, because you have to understand our anti-black supremacy, and please forgive me if y'all against that term because it's new. It's a newer, you know,
it's a newer.
concept.
Mhm.
Due to that, everyone has been against themselves. This is why we are abusing each other. This is why we killing each other. This is why we are very genocidal amongst our own people. This is why we are easily offended. Oh, you said something about Somalis. You said something about this, and they will instantly attack you.
Yeah,
But
they wanted to
we
take.
have white people, Asian people, Hispanic people. We have all of these many different non-black people oppressing our people, getting our wealth, getting oppressing in many different aspects all over. They're still selling our people. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. My foundation is
Hmm.
literally the reason. You can ask Kevin Hart, man. If you ever meet Kevin Hart, say, how did you get the Libya pictures? That's my foundation. I have people in Libya right now, just regular citizens
Oh,
who they had to fake, literally, they had to fake like they was reporters, fake like they was just common people, just to take pictures to give it to the fucking world,
you
you
hear
know,
that? I'm
literally. So
hearing that. This is what's
it's
happening in
crazy.
the world.
Yeah. And now we have our own people who are also puppets that we have to be mindful of. We have to be mindful of that because white supremacy empowers our people who want to submit and prolong white supremacy. You know what I mean? So we got
Mm.
to be mindful of that, man.
Now, Monica, are you there?
Yeah, I was just making sure I listen.
Okay, okay. Now, please join the conversation. You know,
Yeah, I want her to speak, man. I want to hear her.
join the conversation.
Can I finish this one point? Because I want to hear
Most
Monica for
definitely.
a
Most
second.
definitely.
Okay. In regards to what I was talking about, black, we kind of have to say that, unfortunately, because if we don't, we're not unified in a sense of understanding that we are in a specific struggle that is different than any other people in the world. No people have gone through what our people have gone through globally, especially due to the fact that we are the original people. Our melanin alone. I mean, it's so funny when people go, oh, the ancient Egyptians and weren't black, these people, but yet you keep
They,
finding our
they
people.
weren't black. They were Kemites. There were black people in ancient Egypt, but they weren't the
Yeah,
ones
but you said
ruling.
Kemites. That's the funniest thing that you
Yeah,
said that. But you're
they
speaking,
yeah
yeah, you said Kemites. And I'm so, I'm gonna let you finish. My apology.
yeah. But black people were in ancient Egypt, but they weren't the people that was ruling ancient Egypt. The one who was ruling ancient Egypt were Kemites.
No, hold on one second. I'll answer
Well,
that.
aren't Kemites black?
The I disagree
No,
with that. Native Americans have been going through
no,
much
no.
a lot. Yes,
Kemites
the
fall
Native
under
Americans
the white
have
race.
gone through. Hold on one second, Abdi. My apology. I had to
Uh,
answer this. Someone said I disagree with that. Native Americans have gone through a lot, very much, and they did. And me saying that is not saying that no other people, and we got to get away from that. Me saying that black people have gone through a specific thing that is no one can relate to, it's not saying that your any other struggle is different because the Native American struggle is still a black struggle. And I could go into that as well. But and please, if it feels like I'm disrespecting whatever struggle you come from, you're in, you got to take that up with God because it's not my intentions. I'm saying specifically, I'm unapologetic about it,
You
that
know,
I
black
have
people
one problem.
globally
we have to
have
respect.
gone through a
Okay.
specific struggle that no one in the world can relate to because it's long standing and it's unforgiving and it has no I'm gonna say reparations, but it's another word that's similar to reparations. We haven't had no restitution
Constitution.
globally regarding it. So that's what I mean regarding that. Because Chinese went through things, Japanese went through, Philippines definitely went through things which I love to talk about,
Oh,
you
Philippines.
know.
Do they have black population in the Philippines too?
Yes, they do, but that's another story, you
Wow.
know. See, we have to realize that black people are the original people globally. And through that, and you can study this, you can see. See, white supremacy, what they have done is try to separate our people because they understand that. It's power in numbers, and it's power in it's what would a devil do? The devil is a great deceiver.
Yes.
So I'm not calling white people devils, but I kind of am in this case.
Well, we
So
understand the context, which and the
right,
context is
it's
very
that, you know. So to separate a people is to let them know that you're different than that. You're different than, see, because let me tell you something. Africa has such a rich history that many of my brothers and sisters in the continent that I had to tell them about that they didn't even know that their own people did. Africa has such a rich history, a rich black history. Not even, we all know what North Africa has done in regards to Egypt, but what about Nubia? What about Central Africa? In regards to a lot of the inventions and
yeah.
education. What about Mali, Timbuktu? Timbuktu, the oldest university in the entire world, meaning the whole world came there. White people came there. And how did they got to get there? Got to get through Egypt. You got to get through the greatness and the beauty of Africa. You got to get through that, you know? And when you get through that, you start to realize, because, I'm going to tell you something funny.
Can
In the 1600s, um, white supremacists tried to claim Nubia because they had a problem claiming Egypt. They tried to claim Nubia,
Hmm.
and it was such a hard thing to do due to the fact other scientists was telling them it would be better to hit Egypt because
Oh,
they wanted to have Egypt as well as Nubia. And I will send you a link in regards to the
But
actual people who was involved in that.
I am wondering one thing, like, why do black people like to claim everything? Like,
Abdi, can you speak up? Your voice is low.
He said, "Why do black people like to claim everything?"
yeah. That's
yeah,
what.
yeah,
Because black people are everything, brother. Carry
because
on.
you say you was the ancient Egyptians. You said
You guys hear Abdi?
uh, there were black people in America before slavery, and
Well, you have to also realize, Abdi, which that's a beautiful name. You have to realize that the slave trade
Abdi,
is
they're not
going.
hearing you well. You have to speak a little louder.
I heard him.
uh,
Oh,
I
like
heard.
the TikTok people on TikTok.
Okay, so can we discuss? Can we move on and discuss the relationships? And I understand, I completely hear what you were saying, but can we discuss the relationship of, like Africans coming here? And I understand you said like,
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. Let's go, and then we're gonna go into.
Okay, guys, it's about to
yeah.
get real.
So
Since y'all want to see
I just wanna.
better on
So when we like, let's say like most Africans that I know,
Hmm.
we come here, not
Hmm.
everybody, some of us knew English already, some of us did not know English, so we come
Hmm.
here, we have a plan, like my parents had a plan, like my parents
Hmm.
had plans, like African parents have plans for their kids, they have plans for themselves,
Hmm.
we come here with a plan. It's education,
Right.
it's education,
Hmm.
and they take that we take that very seriously. Like I think I was saying the other
Absolutely.
day, like my parents didn't play when it comes to education, when it
yeah.
came to grades, when it came to us, and they didn't play because even they came here, they had to start from scratch, work hard,
Hmm.
and then we're going
Absolutely.
to school, like
Hmm.
us going to school. And when I first came to America, I thought the people that would embrace me would be the people that
Hmm.
look like me, but
Yes.
no, that wasn't the case.
That's never the case
That's not the
under
case. Well,
anti-black
no, I
supremacy.
mean, a lot of us learned that that wasn't the case. We
Right.
like
Right.
got bullied,
Hmm.
um,
Right.
got told all this. We got called all these bad names because we're from
Right.
Africa, just from being from
Right.
Africa.
Right.
So, and then when I see stuff on social media where like African Americans now they like, or after Black Panther came out, they want to be part of the culture,
Hmm.
the part of African culture that they were making fun of. And I can see
Hmm.
Some Africans saying, well, you guys used to make fun of us, but it's
Hmm.
they like, it wasn't just make fun of. And some of these, and I see
Right.
some of these Africans say, well, it happened in grade school. No, I witnessed it for myself. Some of this stuff
You can
happened.
still witness it now.
Yeah,
You can
I
still
witnessed it
you
for
don't
myself.
even
It
have to be in
happened.
school.
It started in grade school. They went on to
Hmm.
high school, making people making fun of these kids. And even my cousin, he got. I feel like the guys got it worse. Like
Oh,
for
I
us
got it.
girls,
I
I
won't lie.
don't know. It's just it's so different because I feel like for
Right.
us girls, yes, we didn't like I didn't get it as bad as my cut like my guy cousins or my you
Hmm.
know how they were bullied and actually pushed for being from
Hmm.
Africa, or called like um what do you call the booty scratcher, all these like
Yeah.
names that they get out of
I never
nowhere.
even heard anyone call that. Only it started from Boys in the Hood, and then it's like it became a thing,
Thing.
and that's disgusting. But
Yeah, and it's
continue.
and
My
you also
apologies.
have to like, and African Americans don't understand that Africans, we are very proud to be from Africa. Like we
Oh yeah,
identify by the
absolutely,
country we are from in Africa,
absolutely.
or tribe. We're very proud. Why like they can make fun of Africa, but we know where we come from. We're part of the country,
Hmm.
or clan or tribe, whatever part of Africa we're from. We're very proud of that, and
Hmm.
there's a reason why we're part of Africa. We're part of where we're from. So
Hmm.
and that's the thing, like when you make fun of some, like we're proud people, when you make fun of where we're from, that cuts
Yo,
deep.
Hmm.
And then later on, you all of a sudden, because of Black Panther or whatever the reason, now you want us to help you. Now you want us to
sure.
help you get in closeness with your culture of the
Hmm.
African side, but then
Right,
you never acknowledge the part where you bullied us and made us try to make
right.
us feel like we should be ashamed of where we're from.
Yeah, but I I have to also say one that is absolutely disgusting that any African has to deal with that. You
But
know,
that's a lot of our story, like coming
it
here.
really is, and I've seen it. Don't think I'm not acknowledging that. And just on my perspective and a perspective of a lot of our people, a lot of black people who are African Americans who love our brothers and sisters. These individuals who happen to do that,
Racist too.
yes, they are sick individuals. They are
I
lost
think that is
individuals.
self-hate.
And it comes from a very toxic conditioning that our people has gone under. For example, when I was in South Africa, I was not understanding for a second why that South Africans don't like Nigerians.
Yeah,
They
but
just
I'm muting
really
myself
and
so I
they
can talk to you.
despise Nigerian men. And I said, they said, well, they come here
And
and they do these things and all these things. And
Malachi, I mean,
Mhm.
please don't take this. This is not me trying to be rude.
African
So
American.
I know, like Africans, we can have issues with each other, but can we just focus on our ideas and Africans, please? Because
No,
right now,
I kind of have, yeah, we can't focus on it, but I kind of have to examine the conditioning because if I say, well, it's just you, look,
That's
we
true.
are under a conditioning. If I just say, well, it's just us and this is what we're going on, w- it's kind of limits everything because it comes finger pointing. Because again, Africans as well as African Americans have faced discrimination against our own people on both ends. Many African Americans feel that when Africans come here, that they look down
Yeah, but
on the
that's
African American. They
I
feel that
in a few, brother.
a lot of Africans come to the United States and you know, and I've seen it myself. I've seen it as well. I've seen many Africans be very judgmental. I hear it on TikTok. I see it on social media.
but
It's okay.
don't you think some of them are judgmental because how they were reacting, because how they were treated when they came here?
That's kind of that's like saying, well, you ever hear those individuals say, well, black girls didn't like me in high school. That's why I got white women. That's stupid because it's not all of our people, and it's stupid to limit ourselves from that perspective. It's you know,
And I don't and I hear what you're saying, but that's also, again, that's not all Africans that are
but
reacting.
it's not all African Americans. You see what I'm saying? You kind of seeing the limit
Yeah,
that you're
and I
doing.
mean, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, let's be honest. A lot of my backstory of coming here.
Hmm.
That's a lot of Africans' stories of coming here and being bullied because they're from Africa or they have an
Again, and
accent.
like I said, it's a lot of stories regarding the African American here as well. This is not something. Trust me. Nowhere in the world. is just one-sided in regards to the black struggle of how
That's
we are
not too many
treating and
people.
mistreating each
I
other.
can't
It's not
Okay.
one-sided anywhere in the world.
I mean,
In
Okay.
regards to our contemporary situation,
oh, bro, if
Okay.
it's not happening.
I won't
Go
let
ahead.
you on if you
Okay,
can't
so here's
from
another thing that I want to discuss.
respectful.
Okay, coming here and then, like I was telling you, we came here.
I'm not trying to
My
have
parents
that
had had
conversation.
plans, and they had plans for their
Hmm.
kids,
But I understand the
which is
passion that you get
education,
on.
and they had plans
So
for themselves, which is like starting from
I don't
scratch and
see that
making something out of themselves,
love
in
for
which they did. And they also
you
pushed
Hmm.
their kids to
know,
get their bachelors, get their education, and take school very seriously. And so
Hmm.
we come here,
what?
and my like coming here and succeeding in school was a must
That is
for
such a
me and for my parents. There wasn't like my parents was like no C's. They didn't believe in C's. So we weren't
Right.
like they really pushed us. They didn't believe in C's in my
Hmm.
household. So my parents were really they were adamant about that. They didn't believe in that. So we had to work hard. We had
Hmm.
to, so and education here is free. Back home, we go to
Hmm.
school, our parents are paying for it, or paying
Hmm.
whether it's grade school, so I just feel like over here there's opportunities, and I feel like, I mean, I don't, and I'm not saying
Right.
this is not all like people that like all African Americans or people that I feel like there's opportunities here that like some like when you go back home, like because education isn't free, like from grade school to wherever like my parents will have to pay for us and put us in school, and
Okay.
that's what my parents did. And then coming here,
Hmm.
education opportunities, you work hard, you can pretty much do whatever. I mean, get to where you want to be. And I see people
Hmm.
that were
Hmm.
born here, and they don't take the fact that they have privileges here when it
Well,
comes to education.
and this is one of the things that I kind of hate the continental African saying is because it's from a place of arrogance because it's like
It's not
this.
from a place of arrogance
Look, look,
because I've
I
seen this.
apologize for how that comes off, please, please. I apologize how that come off. I hope you don't be offended in it because it is an offensive word. Yeah, well, we're gonna keep the peace here. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So, oh no, I just that's just my style. So anyway, what I'm saying is it comes from that place due to the fact of how you already have a sense of, man, fuck the African Americans because they call me booty scratcher, they call me this. Well, fuck y'all stupid, y'all don't, it's a lot of y'all poor, a lot of y'all is downtrodden. Get the fuck out of here. I did
Nobody
this, I can't
nobody
have
nobody
nothing.
called anybody poor. That's not, I mean, I'm
No,
not.
I'm just saying what I know you did. I know you didn't. I'm just saying that it comes from a place in which you really don't understand the history. Because here's an example. I have to use my experience in Nigeria and Ghana, for example. I have a fighter. His name is Prince Okunardi. He's an up and coming light heavyweight fighter. I'm promoting him in Africa, in Ghana specifically, right? There's people who've been in there in that business for many, many years. I come in there and I actually get things done. Actually get things done. Now, I understand that their own people have a conditioning going on that is making it very difficult for them. See, the world in regards to immigration is actually better for immigrants than actual people because why is it where it's the South African having issues with the Nigerian immigrants? It's because our own governments are always hurting our own people. That's just a thing. And I feel that with the continental African immigrant, when they hear Ado's anger and bitterness, and oftentimes disrespect, I might add, they cut off the reality of actually having empathy enough to try to find understanding of why these people are saying these things. Our continental Africans who are immigrating into America, many of whom are very hardworking people, hardworking, excelling people, doing great things. The problem is In regards to that, is yes, it is off of the backs of us. All people, not just the continental African, all people is off the back of us. Okay, let me do history real quick. You know, in slavery, the the actual black slave had all the skills. We cooked, we cleaned, we did absolutely everything. We built, we did medicine, we had many, many inventions that was stolen from us, from the cotton gin to you name it, right? We made America an economic powerhouse due to the cash crop of cotton. America is only rich because of us alone. It's similar to how Dubai is right now. Dubai is free trade. I do business in Dubai. I love Dubai, but it's free trade. They have wealthy people everywhere. Everyone wants to go to Dubai. Just don't twerk, but you don't smoke no weed. But everyone wants to go to Dubai and take Instagram pictures. They built that country up in no time, right? They built that area up in no time. So how is that? How do they do that? It's because they're free trade. They don't get taxed. They don't. It's so much that they get to benefit off of the backs of the poor people working. You see? Now, with the cash crops, right? So with us having made the first real wealth of the United States, strong wealth, which was cotton, which was we traded, we did everything, cotton and other industries, tobacco, and all these other things that we had jump started the American wealth so much that it helped open doors to other industries from railroads to which also made America a powerhouse because now we trading doing railroads internationally and so on and so forth, right?
Hmm.
And when America at a developmental period as well as the world was and to be quite honest, having so much significant wealth helped America become the powerhouse it is today. Having significant wealth first, as we all know, generational wealth is more powerful for someone than new money is, right?
Most
Because
definitely.
you got long money. If you got granddaddy, great granddaddy, great, everyone's billionaires and millionaires or whatever, and you just won the lotto. It's kind of different, right? So we had such a significant wealth that we just kept building on it to become the powerhouse, the so-called powerhouse. We far from that shit that we think we are today. But anyway, we had all of these skills. We had all of these skills in slavery. And then we once Abraham Lincoln so-called freed the slaves, what happened was they created a thing called the Black Codes, which was another way to enslave us, but we're so-called free. The Black Codes was if you didn't have a job, arrested. And if you look at the Constitution, this is why I feel for our immigrants to understand, our black immigrants specifically, it has to be a little thorough education on us because it's only we were slaves, we was downtrodden,
I
we
mean,
ran to the Big Dipper,
I
we,
think,
what I mean,
I
we
mean,
got.
and I hear what you're saying,
Mhm.
but I do believe some of us immigrants do have education and do understand historical aspect when it comes to like the African Americans experience. We like
Yeah, you
again,
have, but
we don't know,
it is
we don't
very
like,
limited.
yeah, and we can't, like I said, we can't, like we can't feel your pain because we talked about this week. I don't know, I cannot feel your struggle because I mean, I in some aspect we share that we share that we're the same race, so we have similar
Hmm.
struggle. But again, we're not African Americans, and so we
Right.
don't feel the pain you guys feel sometimes when it comes to issues, because even my African American friends tell me that when it comes to the issues that with black, when it comes to the issues that are in this country, we can't
Yeah.
exactly feel because First of all, we know where we came from.
It's a
We
unique
know where our
history.
home is. Yeah.
Right, right. It's a unique history. And not only that,
but
you know,
also the
our
African Americans
Aboriginal
today
history has
don't
been
feel the
wiped clean.
Malachi,
same.
can you Abdi's can you let Abdi speak? Because he's go ahead, Abdi. I know your voice is low sometimes, like, so we can't hear you.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad, my
yeah. I
bad.
just wanted to add that African Americans today don't feel the same struggle as they did 100 years ago.
Woo!
So they have come a
Woo!
long way, but
He just came with the fire, bro.
they can't just
I
say
think he's
like
just
we
here to
have gone
pick.
through all of
I
this
get it.
when
No, no, no,
they
bro.
don't know nothing about that.
I genuinely think he's saying, like, bro, a lot of Africans think, bro, this is not like,
I
he,
got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
it's actually a good one. Like,
I
I
got you.
address it.
I'm sorry. What
You
was
have to
that?
understand that we are inheriting a history as well. We are inheriting a history because to say, well, black people don't aren't slaves, so they should be feeling like racism doesn't exist or a
I don't
struggle is not
I don't think that's
existing.
what
It's
he.
just like this.
I
What you
hear
say,
you.
Monica?
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, Malachi. But I don't think that's what Abdi was saying. Abdi's not saying racism doesn't exist. But and I can hear. I can also hear what you're saying, Malachi, because you're saying you guys inherited, like, even that, like, you inherited what happened to um
Hmm.
to your
But
ancestors
again,
over here.
I'm not mad at Abdi because just like even our own citizens here,
Number one.
immigrants here, it's still like on the outside looking in. Let me give a perspective for people to kind of
Right,
understand how
listen.
crazy the viewpoint is in America versus the rest of the world. And I'm gonna say one word: football. Football. Now in America, NFL is God. American football is God in the United States. But in the world, soccer makes American football looks like a hobby, looks less than anything. That just shows the difference in regards to the perspective of how we view things and how isolated our own world is versus the rest of the world. You see, so that's why when the other day when there were so many Somalis angry, I kind of felt what they was angry about because they see things like the brother said. He said, what did he say in the live stream? He said, Somalis have their own etymology, which is actually true. This is actually true. And they have their own viewpoint. So, in regards to us, when you actually in here in the United States, we function a certain way that is kind of like ostracized us in the world. But to answer the question, um, or just the statement, is basically like this. Yes, we inherited a lot that hasn't ended because the African American who descends from chattel slavery is still dead in the eyes of the law of the Constitution. Black and Negro and colored are all statuses in the United States. The African American who descends from chattel slavery is different than you being an African immigrant. You could say, well, I'm from Nigeria. And you are Nigerian American. Your nationality is also your status. That makes you way different than many African Americans who descend from chattel slavery because our status is still property. And you can look this up through the Constitution. What does black mean in the Constitution? So when Dred Scott decision happened during slavery, he went to court and they said no black man has any inalienable rights that a white man can hold as honorable. Why? But guess what? There was also black people in the United States during slavery who had an active status who weren't going through the same things that Dred Scott went through and many slaves went through, Moorish Americans. So we can go into that. But Monica, you were saying something. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying something regarding what you feel. I'm trying to say, what is your main point are you trying to get at in regarding an African American as far as you being an immigrant and succeeding and many of y'all work hard? Do you feel that our resentment is something I'm trying to get what is your point in regarding
Okay, so,
to that?
and again, this is just my opinion. I do feel like, this is me. I do feel like some African Americans do let what happened in the past hold them back from their full potential, or hold them back
Hmm.
from achieving what they could achieve, because I feel like
What
there's a,
happened in the past, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm
What
talking
happened
about
in the
I'm talking
past
about
that
the
people?
like the history, or the what they inherited, the slavery, the what happened to their ancestors. I feel like that, which again, it is a barrier, like you said. It's you guys inherited that, but
Mhm.
it's I feel like it's holding some people back from their full potential.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And many times because it becomes a situation in which a lot of us get so angry and frustrated of our conditionings that we don't try a lot of times. And I get that absolutely. I understand that.
Okay,
But again, we
but then if you don't try, Malachi,
no, no,
like,
no, no. This is still not a general statement.
okay,
This is only limited to for certain individuals.
visuals, yep.
This is
Hmm.
not the whole.
Yep, and that's what I said. Some, yep.
Yeah, this is only limited to certain individuals who don't want to try. And again, our conditioning from slavery hasn't ended. That's the problem. And that's what the world don't understand. Because as you look in regards to all of people think, well, black people only have to worry about the police. No, we're under attack in education. We're under attack in the healthcare industry. I mean, we have genocide that actually is more contemporary than just slavery. What about the uh, crack epidemic? Ain't no black people have any ships, no airplanes, the jets that to get that cargo here, and even our own government admits to it. Even our own government. Look up COINTELPRO. Like I said, my mother, my mother and my family were Black Panthers. Not in no motherfucking movie, were actually from a part of the Black Panther Party and Black Liberation Army. That's where I come from. My family in that struggle is ruined by COINTELPRO. Ruined to this day. I'm the only rich person. I pay for so many Panther Cubs. I so many Panther descendants of that political organization. Some don't even like me because they think I'm a capitalist because I actually got money and they don't. But I'm helping. But that's another story. What I mean by that is our people have a situation that's ongoing and it evolves continuously. And maybe you don't see that because you come from a different history, but the reality is right here. For example, in the United States, black boys get autism at such an alarming rate when they get vaccinated. And you don't see that any other place in the world and any other ethnic group in the United States. For another example, black women are dying in hospitals at an alarming rate. All of this is caused from white supremacy. So what do you want us to do? Be quiet? Or stop complaining? Maybe you kind of
Nobody,
want us, you
I mean,
know.
yeah, and nobody wants anybody to be quiet when there's injustice. But my issue is, if some people are not trying, and they're not living up to their full potential. Um,
Hmm.
so, and like, let's say I am, or somebody else is, because I'm like, even growing up, getting, like, being in an honor roll or getting good grades, I
Yeah.
also got called whitewashed. I called
I was
I was
called white boy. I
I
was
was
called
called
white boy by
whitewashed,
my
but
own
I was,
people
yeah,
too.
and I was called whitewashed by African Americans. I was called
Yeah.
that I was like I was waiting to I was trying to was it I was trying to
You
fit
was
in with the
acting
white
white.
people. Yeah, oh no, I was trying to fit in with the white people, and
Yeah.
and I only care about fitting in with the white people, and that wasn't the case. The case
Mm-hmm.
is getting good grades, go like
Yeah.
making something out of myself because
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan. I have a plan for myself. My parents had a plan for for their kids, and they had a plan for themselves. We didn't co- we
Mm-hmm.
My parents didn't come here and then like, okay, we're here, we're gonna rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not how the story is for a lot of immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
We come wherever we go, and there's a plan for
Mm-hmm.
us to work
Right.
hard and to make something out of ourselves.
Yes.
And then when I'm making something out of myself, I'm getting bullied for that. I'm being called whitewash. I'm being called,
Yeah, but
you know.
again, that is something that actually all black people in America has to deal with because this is something you again, like I always tell people, once you understand white supremacy, everything else becomes so simple because then you understand the conditioning of why we are doing this dumb shit. You really understand the conditioning of why we're doing this
But
dumb
then
shit to
there's
each other.
conditioning. But when do you start taking accountability for yourself instead
We
of
can
just saying
take
it's
accountability.
conditioning?
We are taking accountability.
Well,
Man, no people,
if you're
no.
bullying me, if let's say somebody else is getting
Mhm.
bullied, somebody else is getting bullied for working hard or doing
Let me
what,
tell
like
you something,
living to their
Monica.
full potential because of where they're at. They like
Yes.
I would
Let
never
me tell you
bully
something,
something.
Monica.
I would
Let me
never
tell you
bully
something, Monica.
somebody because of a condition.
Right. Let me tell you something, Monica. I had to go through the same damn thing too with my own people. I was called white boy, and I'm the black. I was the blackest dude there. I was reading. I was doing straight A's, everything. Was straight 100s. But at the end of the day, my own people, black girls would call me white boy because I wasn't acting like a toxic nigga in school. I like theater. I would say things like, my favorite play is Les Miserables, but my own people did that to me. See, to say, well, when are you going to have accountability with it?
Yeah, wouldn't I mean that's
Accountability has to go into the diagnosis, understanding this caused this, and we have to re-educate our people for the next generation, so the next generation won't see an African or even an African American who is progressive, educated, or want to learn, want to better themselves, want to make our people proud. They won't be ridiculed. They won't be ostracized. So then they won't have to say, well, I feel more comfortable amongst white society because black people treated me like shit. Maybe the girls didn't like me. I need a white woman. The guys, black guys is bad. I need a white man or whatever. We need to actually re-educate our
but that's
people
but then
in
that's
that.
I mean that's a mentality that like, so I'm just gonna say, like, if if like let's say some of us that did get made fun of from being from Africa, if we took the same route, like, which I didn't take the same route of having that mentality,
Hmm.
saying, you know what, I'm never gonna speak to African Americans all because we didn't take that. Like, I'm not gonna take that route. That's just not how I was
Yeah,
raised. I'm
right.
not gonna take that route. That's just not who I am. But
Hmm.
if for anybody to take that route of saying, you know what, because of this or what happened, I'm gonna be
Hmm.
like this with these people. There's ignorance there, but then there's also it's a choice of that individual made to do that.
I have
Okay.
a question for you.
Yeah.
How do we, if you said accountability, what is the accountability that's
I
appeasing
mean,
to you? What
accountability.
accountability are you looking for
I
specific?
mean, accountability is as individuals for like as an individual
You
behavior.
will never get that from anyone. You will never get that from anyone. No, you will never. If you're looking for like individuals to just wake up and just be like, "Oh, I forgive you
Individuals,
for being," no, you won't get
I
that
mean,
from no one.
individuals for like not making fun of
Hmm.
immigrants for being from the continent of Africa, like
Hmm.
individual not doing that, and then because of conditioning, as you say
It's
it.
only going to change when we change the culture. That's the only way. It's not going to be like y'all stop doing that. No one's going. They're going to do it more.
But
You're gonna have to educate, we as all of us, even the people listening to this, we have to re-educate our people. So now we have to love our people because you have to understand that due to this anti-black conditioning, a lot of our people are very, very toxic, monstrously so. So we have to re-educate our people, especially our children, because a lot of people say, well, you know why uh black kids aren't really doing good in school? Because black kids are broken by the time they're in third grade. By the time they're in third grade, they're broken because there's a social construct that is happening going on. Because like my friends, like a lot of my friends who are African immigrants growing up, I don't want to say his name,
Yeah,
but
don't say their
I'm
name.
gonna say his first name. Steven is from uh the Congo,
Okay.
right? And my friend Vic, he's from Nigeria, right? Vic
Hmm.
grew up
With this.
all through school. I mean, from kindergarten up in the United States, and he visit Nigeria whenever he can, right?
Hmm.
Vic is nowhere near Steven in regards to education. Why is that? Because when Steven came, it was one, he was already separated from everyone. He was separated from actually staying with these white teachers, that
Oh,
it was a little bit better for him
he's saying
to
some.
actually
Guys, guys.
be educated properly. Because you and I know American schools have
I
a real bad issue with educating
Trump
black children
and
of
Africa
any race,
did.
of
Yo,
any race.
Hey,
And also, hmm
I'm just curious. J Wave,
yeah.
did you have anything? Because I see you in the background. Do you have anything to say?
Me, like,
hmm
all right. Like,
I'm
I
talking.
have things to say.
Hello,
You know,
J Wave.
and honestly, yeah. Do you guys hear me?
I don't think he can.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me, Monica?
Malachi. No, I'm asking about J Wave.
Yeah, yeah. Can she hear me? She can't hear me.
I mean, I see him in the background, but I don't know.
You can't hear me? Oh, she can't hear me.
Okay, I guess no. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Can you hear me now? Hello? You
I
can't.
Hello.
can hear everyone.
Oh,
Oh, because I can't hear J Wave.
she can't hear me. That's crazy.
J
Can
Wave,
you
can
hear
you?
me, Monica?
Yeah, I can hear you, Malachi. And
Okay.
then there's Ahmed.
Yeah, I don't know who
I
Ahmed
see
is.
Ahmed and I see a guest.
What?
Hello.
Hello? Hello? I'm here.
hmm
Oh, J Wave. I'm like, do you have anything to say? Because I know you've been quiet, and I
Yeah.
don't even know
Oh,
what
so that means
anybody
the
else.
whole
Does anybody else have questions out there too? I don't know.
Yeah, I was speaking. I was speaking. I
Oh,
didn't know.
they asked me.
I
They
couldn't
just
hear you.
asked me, have I ever been to Africa? Absolutely. I've been almost. I mean, from Morocco to Egypt. I've been to Nigeria. I actually have property in Nigeria as well as Ghana, as well as South Africa. And I'm about to go to Eritrea, hopefully after COVID.
I'm
Especially if
just
I could get out of
Okay.
here.
I, all right. So, like,
I'm just curious about if people have questions out there too.
oh yeah, a lot of
Yeah, I
people
was just
have
answering this
questions what
question.
you're saying, but like, I guess like what I was trying to interject to say was
Hmm.
regards to the accountability thing that Monica was talking about, because I think
hmm
you might have interpreted that as like pretty much what she's talking about is more
hmm
accountability to I'm gonna use the classical term that like I don't want us to. I mean, this shouldn't be always used because it actually like has a really bad connotation. But you know,
Hmm.
the
hmm
whole saying with get up and get pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of saying,
Yep. Yep.
hmm
right? That's literally what she means. Like
Hmm.
all right, boom, because. And I won't lie to you. These are the conversations that we have at home
hmm
with our pet. But this is an African thing, so I'm not gonna shy away from it because of like
Go
on
ahead, do it.
you're here to dispel what at least you're here to counter whatever we have whatever no preconceived notions we have, right? So
Hmm.
it's an open dialogue. So like yeah, basically how we look at it is like this, right? Like okay,
hmm
for example, a lot of Africans coming to the United States are not coming to the United States, just like you said too, from the most beautiful condition. Now, we also have the ones who are rich and wealthy,
Yep.
whatever. But even those, like Africa is, in terms of the standard of living is just not
Very
compared to
complex.
the United States,
Yep.
Right.
right?
Yep.
So now you come to the United States and you're starting from scratch, right? And then you kind
Mhm.
of work your way up. Like some of them come in their late 30s, 40s, and you see them going back to school to be a nurse just because
Mhm.
they want to provide for their family. Or you see them going back, So when they come and they're able to do that, right? They then look
Mhm.
at the ADOS, African American Black ADOS, right? And not every single one, because definitely we have we have,
Hmm.
we're not talking about the rappers, the athletes, right? We have people like
Mhm.
you, we have people in the workforce, but for the most
Right.
part, we think when we thinking about the projects, we thinking about the hood. Like you already know how it go in the hood in the projects. Like we're trying to figure out like why is it that these people over these hundreds of years have not kind
Mhm.
of like why don't they have this drive to like go the way we come here? We're like nah, we trying to make it, and I think
Exactly.
personally is because of they have all the and that's where the systemic part I guess comes in. They have all these amenities, well, quote unquote amenities, because they're not amenities at all, right? Welfare, but
Mhm.
things that kind of put them in a state where
Right.
they don't want to work. And I've seen this with even
Mhm.
Jamaican immigrant, like someone I dated, for example, mother, right?
Mhm.
Where like
Right.
she was getting this stuff, and
Mhm.
because of that, she didn't want to work. And not
Is
that
Monica there? Or something happened? Monica, you here? Monica?
Monica,
Yeah.
she's back. Yeah, she's here.
She here? I can't hear her.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've seen people go away. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, but like basically, like that's I guess that's where the accountability thing comes in. We're like, why is it that they cannot kind of like take accountability and like pull themselves up by the bootstraps, start working, try to figure it out. Like not.
Well, I mean, what the fuck can we do? What the fuck can we do until people stop saying that dumb shit? Because every single time you've
Mhm.
seen African Americans do that throughout our own history, from slavery to freedom to so-called freedom, you have seen the American government. Mind you, you got to understand, in many African countries, you are the majority race. We are only 12% of the fucking population amongst white monstrous devils who really see us as only property, as only things that in which they can rip and exploit and rape and kill and hopefully eliminate. Now, amongst all of that, everything in our history, from, you see, for example, everyone likes to bring up um, Black Wall Street.
Mhm.
Everyone likes to bring up Black Wall Street and what happened. But a lot of people don't understand Black Wall Street was not an anomaly. That was the norm of black owned businesses, of black owned industries, from the Patterson Car Company to you name it, who's also patents and all of our patents ripped from us, to from that Rosewood. A lot of people look up Durham, South Carolina, or it could be North Carolina, Dunham,
North Carolina.
Carolina. Yes, look up the history of that. They have a great black history. and
Hmm.
and going on to from that to redlining, if you know what redlining is,
Yeah.
to
Yep. Yep.
uh us being having our wealth taken from us in regards to banking, the freedmen's bureau, look up that as well. These things are ongoing things that's still going today, in which our people deal have to suffer from, unfortunately. And also, we got to understand that Democrats and Republicans don't give a fuck about our people. And I try to tell black people, but we're so brainwashed in Democrats, and I'm not a Republican either, I'm nonpartisan,
Yeah,
that we feel that Democrats is going to help us, and they actually are hurting our people,
Democrats.
dangerously so. Because what happens is we put up too many benefits, like you said, the welfare. instead of jobs and actually economic wealth that our people should be getting. Black owned banks should be getting money instead of giving our people food stamps and welfare, which in all honesty, white Americans benefit more than black people. But again, due to the anti-black conditioning, our people is going to get blamed as if we are the ones, as everybody's on welfare and everyone's. You see, so we have to fight so much in actually acknowledging what's going, with our people. Because I would never say, and I being the African continent so much that I would never say, well, due to the fact I'm thriving in Ghana, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all just lazy. Ain't nobody lazy in Ghana. But it's a lot of systemic things hurting their people that's making it hard for them to succeed, as well as in Nigeria, my Nigerian brothers who, I'm doing business with. I would never say, well, y'all need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Many rich Nigerians say it to their people. I see it all the time. But in reality, that's also a capitalistic thing. But we can go into that in another way. But I don't really feel it's a proper way to address. I think it's hurtful to say, but people want to say it because
What do you
again, if you've been
say?
hurt by us
How
in
do you
some
know
way, it feels
if you
good to say it. And also,
people what
America has a horrible
before we know what was
view in the world. America looks horrible in the world. So it's kind of easy to say, yeah, you know, disregard us because people hate America. Because we're stupid. We done the most monstrous thing in the whole world, especially Africa. So, you know,
correct. Now,
but
I
did,
also,
but did that answer everything, or
now
did you
you did,
kind of get an idea what I'm saying?
like, and I understand. We understand exactly what you're saying. But now the issue, we should switch it over to this Tariq Nasheed Ado's separation bullshit.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, somebody's trying to talk. Can
Hello?
you speak up? We can't hear you.
Ahmed,
Man,
if you're not speaking hot, I put the volume. Okay.
I can hear. I'm gonna try and hear him. If let me just speak, man.
Speak
Let me see
loud,
if I can
please.
hear.
Yes.
It's
I can
better.
hear
Yep.
you. I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Damn, I can't hear you.
Hey, can you speak
You've
up?
been in
He can't
Nigeria
hear
all
you.
your life?
He can't hear you.
Hey, can
Yes.
he just
That's
type it in the live stream? Can he just type his question in the live stream?
what I
Because
was
I'm
gonna say.
literally reading it. I'm reading people's comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what is I mean, I'm not reading the comments. What are they saying? What are the questions?
Let's see.
Uh, they're going back and forth still with the Somali situation.
There's
And
some
again, Somali people are Egyptian as well. That's an actual fact. But also Nigerians are. But then, man, I really feel like we got to do a big, thorough
Yeah,
history
we're gonna
thing
need
because our history is so complex.
because
You
you,
know,
you you go into some history that needs to be uh like, yeah, historical stuff that needs to be addressed.
Ahmed, did you write your question?
yeah, I really appreciate that because then I could just read it to people,
Exactly. With that, we're
and
gonna.
that'll just help.
What's your question, Ahmed?
But while he's typing it,
Hmm.
Yes, bro.
let's get
We
on
can
the
talk
Tariq
about
Nasheed thing.
Yeah,
Tariq.
what is it? Yeah, let's talk about the Tariq Nasheed.
Absolutely, being Somali.
So basically, this is how I see it with Tariq Nasheed. With all due respect to him, actually, no, I'm not even gonna say with all due respect to him. I have nothing against him, but I'm not gonna, because honestly, Tariq Nasheed's energy, bro, is just right now is too much.
So
He
what is the most things you have regarding? I'm not defending Tariq Nasheed at all. I don't know what's going on, but I
yeah,
understand that a lot of ADOS, I would say leaders or influencers who are ADOS, they have a real problem with translating their message to people. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
they do. They do, and their message comes off very hateful. And to the
Yeah,
point where I start looking at ADOS because of there's nothing wrong with ADOS
the
having
concept.
his concept because of you guys do need your own. You need your own designation. You do need your own separation to a certain extent, right?
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
They do. Yep.
but then when we start talking about certain things like, all right, reparations, we don't want reparations. I don't think there's no African that's gonna
Yeah,
argue
we
with
don't
you on
want
reparations,
reparations.
right? But
Well, it's many people who have, but they're so minority that it really doesn't even matter.
yeah,
So,
but I would say this with affirmative action, right? I got a problem there, and I'm gonna tell you why.
hmm
The reason with affirmative action, right?
Which actually benefited white women, not black people.
True, right? And that's why it actually kind of bothers me even more that, like, Tariq Nasheed, a couple other ADOS influencers, right? Um, still don't they talk about the white thing, but then they still bring it back to black and African immigrants. And my whole thing with that is this, right? If I'm
hmm
walking on the street in America,
You're black.
You're black.
You
Yep.
gonna
that's
get caught.
it.
You black.
Right.
Yep.
It's only within us blacks that we might start looking at details to be like, okay, this one might be African.
Yeah.
But with
Exactly.
that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, it's not saying that. Majority of the time, what ADOS have an issue with is the actual benefits that they are fighting for that can go to you simply because we're not separating and distinct regarding who ADOS is, and especially regarding reparations. Because oftentimes throughout our history, we also have to understand immigration has also been another thing that has been weaponized to hurt the black community. Just like um, so many other agendas has happened, like the crack epidemic. These were those certain things that was used to hurt us specifically because white supremacists fear of genetic annihilation, fear of losing their wealth. Because again, let me start with a little history with slavery. What I was going in is the fact that with slavery,
Mhm.
we did absolutely everything. That means we are the most skilled people in the world because we did everything. And then when we was free, white people is not as skilled as us. So what happened? America had to open up our borders because they say, well, black people, they'll do it for next to nothing. And they do an excellent job, and I can pay them next to nothing. But white wealth is dying out now. So what
Yeah.
happened is they opened up our borders for poor European immigrants to come in. And what happened is they came in, and now in New York, you're from New York right now. You're in New York right now. You see, there's Germantown, there's Little Italy, there's all of these places because they're descendants of poor Europeans as well as other non-blacks who came as well, and they got to get the jobs because they had the skills that the regular white people didn't have. And due to the fact that white supremacy is a numbers thing, over time, yes, they've been discriminated by the white Americans. They was more able to assimilate than an African immigrant could ever do because you can't because you're black. You feel me? So you'll never be able to assimilate with white America. None of us. But an Irish American can, a German American can.
That's true.
So that hurt us. Immigration has hurt us, in which now they have built wealth in regards to us while we was locked
It
out.
has
So
hurt you, most definitely. It
right.
has hurt you, but I guess, boom,
hmm
right? Because of it's still equal. Now I'm not talking about the whites because it's never equal opportunities with the other races. Okay, let's carry them and throw them to the corner. Now with the blacks, with us, all of us, is equal opportunity, right? The real question is, why is it that some people are going to grab it
hmm
harder than other people, right? And this is a perspective thing, like
No one's. I honestly disagree with that because I don't feel no one is grabbing it harder than anyone. I mean, we all grabbing it in our own way, differently. You may feel like you're grabbing it because it seems like it, but let's be real here. A lot of our African immigrant brothers and sisters are well educated. I mean, some people have even 10, 11, 20, 55,000 degrees and still doesn't have the actual wealth to represent their degrees. But
Because it's
it
not
doesn't
recognized in
take
America.
a lot of the time. You feel me? So
Yeah.
why isn't the wealth translating? Of course, because now their blackness is activated. So we have to acknowledge that as well. I feel everyone wants to eat. Everyone wants to uh, have whatever this bullshit American dream is. It should be an African dream. It should be something where you know if we can get these puppet leaders out, all of these agents, same thing that's going on in the continent. It's the same thing going on. Like I told you, didn't I tell you? I said,
Hmm.
the African Union is the same as the Black Caucus in America. They're both puppets.
You
They
did
say
say
they
that.
represent us, but they don't.
They
They
don't.
in these positions
For
to look
themselves.
high and mighty and say, "Yeah, we working for people, we fighting for black people," and they're doing nothing. They're passive. They say, "Yeah, let's vote Democrat. Let's even vote Republican. Build the wall, Trump, y'all." They and the Trump audience kind of appease a lot of the ADOS again
Most
because
definitely.
because of the immigration issue. But the history that I just laid out to you is why. And we need to also understand that regardless of Republican or Democrat, we at the bottom of the totem pole. So we have to do for self now, exclusively, in order to us to liberate and change our people for the better, because we are a great people, all of us,
Correct.
and it starts with us realizing who the fuck we are to begin with, you know.
That's very true. Ahmed's question is right here.
What
I
is
mean,
his question?
his statement. So he said, as a Hausa person, I've seen a lot of Nigeria, and I think I could say a lot for the people
Hmm.
in Africa.
Okay.
Africa has failed us. It failed to protect their citizens, their land, and their wealth, which is correct.
Hmm.
The corruption in Africa is at an all-time high. Tell me we Africans really go to America. Oh, tell me why we Africans really go to America if their country. Why would Africans go to America if their country was good? I wouldn't step foot there at all. I'm good. I think we need to focus on our country that could be so good.
Absolutely.
Nigeria could be so
Absolutely.
rich.
Actually,
Hmm.
actually, Africa is the greatest continent in the world.
In the world.
It's the richest continent in the world. It's the
Yes.
only continent that is literally on the fucking ground. It actually has a better foundation than America. America is a place in which we have earthquakes, we have hurricanes, and all the most beautiful places. I'm from Los Angeles. We have everything going on with us, and we about to be wiped off the planet, man. I'm being real with you.
And the
America
fires?
wasn't made for what the African is made for. I mean, the wealth alone in Africa has made Europe a powerhouse because they don't have the resources that Africa, the entire continent, have. So of course they put trillions and trillions of dollars to prop up these fake leaders in many of these countries. Not all. Some people have different histories. Some because they may not have petroleum. So now white people don't feel like bothering them. They may not have a certain wealth that Europeans value that they could put their dollars and their pounds under. So they had a little bit of freedom to kind of like be, kind of left alone. But again, majority of Africa has many people who are in political power who are puppets, just like in America we have many black politicians
Hmm.
who in celebrities, and we can go on, who are in power, who are selling our people short on some bullshit. They're giving us genocidal hip hop, which that was not our culture.
That's
They're
crazy.
giving us they're have which is filled with colorism, anti-black women, anti-real black men. Now you got to be, you
Yeah,
know.
you gotta
So
be.
we got so many agendas going on in our people, and I said on Twitter one time, I said, man, it's no people have more agendas on them than black people all over the world. It's like you see it everywhere. It's black men versus black women. Now it's straight or cisgender, it's LGBT. We all fighting because they know our power when we're unified. Because let me tell you something. Tribalism is the only thing that hurt our people. Tribalism is the only thing that really hurt our people because I feel like I don't want to be religious right now, but I feel like black people are gods and goddesses on this earth. And I feel due to the fact that we have done amazing things and the entire world comes from the black woman, that we have been arrogant and ignorant in regards to our own set of tribes, our own, you know, own cultures, our own different cultures, different languages, different tribes, different religions. We had all these things hurting us because what the white supremacy show? That, oh, you're not Hutu, you're not Tutsi, you're not Somali, you're not Egyptian, you're not Nigerian, whatever the case, you're not whatever the fuck you think and you praise. You're niggas.
You're
You're niggas, all of
straight,
you.
straight.
And that's a thing that we have to realize. We're not niggas, but we have to realize that we have to now kind of drop our tribalism for real. Not erase it in regards to having pride for self, but we have to drop it in regards to our people, or we would never be liberated. We would
And I
never
do.
be liberated.
And okay, so I want to. So something that I do want to bring up is also like the. So I don't even know how to. Let me see how to put this. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to put this.
No
How
problem.
to, oh, say okay. So when okay, so going trying to understand everything, and I know with history, a lot of people don't know the history of when it comes to the slaves, and we get Africans, we get blamed for that. We were the ones, we sold
Yes.
African Americans to the white man, and and yes, African
I
Americans were
couldn't hear you. What did you
captured.
say? I'm sorry, but my apology. I couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Can you hear me now, Malachi?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
I said, okay, so some of us Africans, we all heard that we were the ones, we were told, some of us heard that we were the ones that sold the slaves
No,
to the white people. And that's the
no,
thing,
and that's
and that's
not
one thing yeah,
factual.
and that's one thing I want to make it clear also. I want to make that clear, and also the fact that nobody ever talks about the history of when some of the Africans heard about what was being done to some of when the slaves were brought here,
Exactly.
the inhumanity that was being done to the slaves
Hmm.
here. They try to come back for these slaves, and they try to fight for the people, our people that were brought here. But nobody talks about that
Absolutely.
part of history. Nobody ever
Yeah,
talks about the fact that
because we gotta
Africans
understand.
some of the, like Africans, when they heard about what was being done to the blacks,
Yes,
to black African
King
slaves girls.
Melanin and all these.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
came and
gotta
tried
count
to
the numbers because some
they
people get
came and
mad.
fought. They came and tried to fight came and fight them, and nobody ever talks about that in history. It's always like, oh, they, and some black Americans, oh, you guys sold us. Like, no, like, we had nothing to
Absolutely,
do with
yeah,
that.
and we say that a lot. Now, they were many black people. Again, when we talk about slavery, it's almost similar to the drug trade. We have people that say, well, say no to drugs, but we also have friends, family, that sell that shit. But again, it's a part of a culture. Now, in Africa, there was not chattel slavery like the white European. I'm gonna say white in regards to this when I talk about, because
Mm-hmm.
white and black are only statuses to be
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, but white in regards to the people. you know. Um, Slavery in Africa was more, as the Americans would say, indentured servitude, you know. Like Mansa Musa, he had slaves, but they didn't have to be Muslim, you know. And he didn't own their children's and children's children, you see. Now, the European, they owned you, your children's children's, and whatever, as long as they could, as long as they own you as their property. Now, when people say the African sold
Yeah.
us, is they trying to play off of the fact that African is multicultural, but we see it as everybody who is African is just black. And that's not true. Majority of these people were in fact the white Arabs who was involved with the slave trade, who assisted the Europeans. And yes, there were many people like the Senegalese people and so many other, but there was such a minority involved in that. And also wealth and them not understanding what type of slavery it is. And it's not like today, because sometimes we look at history with contemporary eyes. It's like, why didn't you just do this? I mean, we're like 100, 200, 300 years from this. Technology has changed tremendously in the last 2 years, in the last year, enough compared to 200 years. You know, can you imagine if slaves had an iPhone in America? Can you imagine that? iPhone, navigation. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So, I also hate that, but again, that's our fault in regards to we don't own media. We're not in positions of power to
I mean,
speak on this in education. So
yeah,
now,
and I think
whatever white
education is.
supremacy want to feed, we have to deal with.
Sorry to interrupt you, but education is the key factor, because I feel like whenever there's back and forth with African Americans and Africans, it's that's always thrown. Oh, you guys sold
Oh
us, and
yes, yes.
that's always thrown. But then, I mean, that's always thrown, but it's not the whole history. They're not. Nobody ever talks about the whole history. They don't. You never hear somebody. Nobody ever brings up the fact that, yeah, some very few Africans did that, and a lot of slaves were captured, and also the fact that some of the Africans, when they found out what was being done to the Africans that were brought here, they came for them. They came trying to fight. They came trying to fight for their brothers and sisters that were being not treated right. Nobody talks about that. It's just like, oh yeah, we all you hear is like, oh, you
Because
guys
it's
sold
not,
us.
it hasn't been in the mouth of white society. That's all. And that's a sad thing because white people haven't said it. I'm being real with you. White people didn't say it. So since they didn't say it, it doesn't matter. It has to be something that reached them because of our conditioning, which is ignorant. But unfortunately, that's the reality. It's same with our history that people may say, well, a lot of things that Malachi said during this, I disagree. But you know why you disagree? It's because the people who own your education are not your people. They're not your people. And a lot of the countries that we're from, you know? And in the dominant society or whatever that is controlling the wealth to support this supremacy, they have way more long money than we can ever have right now. I mean, the wealth gap in America is 700 years to a white person. 700 years. So you say, pull yourself up, do it. Do it. You're still behind. It's for us, we have to dismantle. We have to dismantle this system first. So that way, all of our conditionings that we have even done to each other, even ourselves, our own minds, can be eliminated. You feel me? And this is not only the
But
African Americans.
how do you dismantle the system if you're not living up to your full potential? or trying to live up to your full potential?
Well, that's still you. It's almost like you're saying this is just the norm of African Americans. That's
No, I
not
never.
the truth.
That's not what I'm saying. Because even when I said
Because I
earlier,
could say the same
when
thing.
I said
Okay, it's like
earlier,
saying, well,
when I was talking about accountability, I was talking about some. I never said all, because I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
well, it kind of you gotta hear how it sounds. So I have to flip it to you.
Okay.
What country are you from?
So my dad is Kenyan, my mom is Sudanese, and I grew up in Sudan, but then we also came to Kenya and lived there for a while before coming to America. So it's
Okay.
just kind of like it's a mixture of those two countries.
Okay, I understand. I understand. For example, I know Kenya very well. I don't know the Sudan as much other than their ancient history regarding Nubia. But in Kenya, there's a lot of financial disparities. You know, it's not just the people's fault in that, you know. So there's rich Kenyans who have mega mansions, and there's very poor Kenyans who have absolutely nothing, you know. And it's so crazy. When I was in Nigeria, he was talking about the Akata word, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they told me, you know who the real Akata is? It's the African immigrant in America. And I said,
Really?
why do you say that? They said they said the African immigrant in America is the Akata because they look
Really?
down on us. And I'm like,
So they're
so
called
so
Cat. Wow.
yes. So it's like we really can't win for losing. No one can.
Yeah,
And
everybody coming for everybody.
everybody's coming for everyone. Because you know why, man? We have to dismantle this system of white and really anti-black supremacy. And I really want to focus on anti-black supremacy because I want us to start attacking everyone who's against our liberation as a people,
Like that Chinese guy.
like the
Nonsense.
Chinese. And and don't get me wrong, there's so many amazing and beautiful Chinese people as well as white Arab people. I work with them all the time. I'm about to get a couple million off of them. But either way, we can't deny that our people are suffering. Right now it's being sold. Right now being sold by the Arabs. It's in Saudi Arabia, in Libya, all through Africa for real, to be honest with you. And in Turkey, like come on. But again, we have to understand we won't go anywhere until we understand who the fuck we are, which is amazing people. All of us, no matter what your so-called nationality is, your faux nationality, I actually say, because all of these societies in which we claim has all fallen in reality. So now we have to build a new culture, and we have to build a new culture for the next generation, stronger.
Malachi, can I ask you, what do you identify as?
Me?
Yeah,
What do I identify as?
yeah.
Um, well, identify as an original man. You
Okay.
know, my spirituality, I see myself as a God on earth. And not to say like, because some people hear that they go, oh, you're a 5%er? No, I'm not a 5%er. I believe that black people are gods and goddesses on earth, connected to our lineage to the Almighty God, Creator, what name you would like to have. Who I am is more of original people because we are an original people, you know. Now, in context, I could say Aboriginal American, I could say Moorish, whatever would fit, but it has to be context to break everything down.
Hmm. Okay.
So that's is that why they say Aboriginal? Because when I hear Aboriginal American, I'm thinking they're pretty much saying we're native to this land. Like we did not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we was not on no ships coming here type joint.
yeah. See, there was black people already in America way before, and I could show you pictures of my family. I could show you actual documentations to show that African people were already in America thousands of years before slavery. So the idea that actually happened by a white man, I forgot his name, but I can get that to you. He changed the status of the Aboriginal American to Negro. And when that happened, all of that, I don't want to say native because native, I want you to think of in regards to the Pocahontas Native American, who is also, they are more Asianist type of people, you know. But I'm speaking on the Aboriginal, the Africans who was already in. We're still African. Don't mind you. We still African, but we already been here way thousands of years when the earth was Pangea. You know, we already was traveling. We already was going all over the world. That's why you would find black people in Japan, for example. There's a tribe in Japan who've been there for thousands of years, and the government literally protects them because, you know, they want to keep that history because if that history is erased, so much is gone from Japan, Japanese people. You know, we've been all over the world because, again, I said the black woman is the original woman. Everyone comes from her. So, therefore, all of us, and you can even look at, like I said, Cheddar Man to any place. If you look at Cheddar Man, they actually break down every other original people, and it's black. It's black people,
Let me look
you
that up.
know. And us here in America, the Aboriginal here, yes, thousands and thousands of years, you know. For example, Christopher Columbus, when he came to America to discover, he had a Moor with him by the name of Estevanico. And Estevanico navigated the ship. See, a lot of historians like to say Muslim, you see, because Muslim, you can hide what the race of the
Arab.
person is. You can
Mhm.
hide that, you see. So, Stephen Nico was actually a black man who navigated because his people was already in America, already were there. They would travel. Our African people are a unique and amazing people in which we are pioneering people in everything, in almost everything, not just I say everything, but please don't take it literal, guys.
No,
You
no.
know, I know we living in that time, but don't take it literal. You
This
know, we
topic
didn't
was
we didn't
crazy.
create water, god damn it. We didn't create water, we didn't create sand.
I know, right? You gotta clarify nowadays the way how crazy things are getting. She. That's another topic we gotta address these days.
Yeah, but what you was saying, Monica, is she still here?
Monica? Oh, she is. She is. Maybe I don't know what's happening, but she is. Oh no, she's not. Oh, no, no, she is. I don't know what's
Okay, go
happening.
ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, she left the room. She's probably gonna come back though.
Okay.
Uh, before like this has been straight up like this has been this whole session right here has been very educational and very helpful. But like before you leave, I just want you to just touch up on one last thing. I know that because maybe well you tell me maybe we should do it for the educational the educational episode or not. You let me know. But the whole Martin Luther King and the Rockefeller thing because that was very interesting to
Oh
me.
yeah. Again, like I said, man, a lot of our political heroes that we look up to, many of them were agents. For example, my family come from the Black Panther Party, my mother specifically. And, you know, growing up, I admired many Panthers, many Panthers. But as I grow up and understand what COINTELPRO is, and again, the audience have to understand what COINTELPRO is too, is our own government created a program in which to dismantle our liberation, and by J. Edgar Hoover, and he created COINTELPRO in order to make sure that there's no rise of a black messiah, male or female. So
Mm.
that's why a lot of our heroes were assassinated. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and there's also a campaign being discredited. So that's why even today, if they can't kill you, they're going to discredit you. So that's why a lot of people don't like Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton or
Usher
Farrakhan.
got a lot of weirdness to him though, because
Yeah,
he
or Farrakhan or whatever, because this
Farrakhan is
program,
creepy.
you
really,
know,
you don't like him?
It's not that I don't like him. Some of the stuff that he says, sometimes I feel like he says those things for the shock factor. You know what I mean? Like just to like, oh, he said that. Some of the things he said. It's not that I don't like him. It's just some of the stuff that he says. Sometimes I'm just like,
mhm.
whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
you know. I mean, that's almost that could be TD Jakes, you know, that could be TD Jakes, that could be anyone. But again, a lot of our heroes have been in fact agents. Like for example, I was talking, and this is just a personal thing for me and your audience. I honestly felt that Eldridge Cleaver, who was the Minister of Information of the Black Panther Party, I honestly feel he was an agent.
He had.
Why?
I read that he was not read. I watched that he was.
Mhm.
Continue, sir.
Yeah, I feel that he was an agent because um the things that he did in his career as a Panther, from getting little Bobby Hutton killed in a shootout with the police, exiling to North Africa, uh, as well as
I need to write this stuff down.
safely, then coming back to America safely, going to trial, not going, getting convicted, not really facing any real serious punishment, and then ending up being a Republican before he passed.
Interesting.
That just don't add up to me. For
hey,
someone who said, if I see Ronald Reagan, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him, to I'm a Republican and Ronald Reagan was a great man. Like, get the fuck,
hey,
you
Jay
know.
Wave. I'm kind of curious because earlier you talked about affirmative action, and you were
Mm.
talking about the Tyreek. Can you go into deeper into that? Because I want to understand where you're coming from.
All right. So affirmative action is the
Yeah.
whole thing where like they kind of do I want to use the word advantage? Probably not, right? But it's kind of like we're given consideration and yeah, consideration in
Mm-hmm.
the work field and getting into schools and these kind of things. So like there'll be a quota and a quota that has to be filled for black spots, right?
Yep. Yep.
Maybe historically black kids.
Hmm.
Maybe not the African one. Well, yeah, see the African ones. I see what you're saying, but like maybe black kids, their scores might be lower, right? But they'll still get considered for positions where like other races might have to do above and beyond. Like I was in a hospital yesterday, and one of the doctors was like, his son is doing 4 research projects at the same time. Indian kid, right? To get
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
medical school,
Mm-hmm.
bro. We do only one.
Hmm.
Like literally, we do only one. So like, ADOS wants that to be centered to them. It's like they want it to be their
To
thing.
them, to us,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And me, I feel like with that one, no, no, no. That one you have to share with us because the way they treat you is the way they still
They
treat
treat
us.
us. Yep.
They don't like maybe it's when we get into the workplace and then they see our work ethic, like, oh, this guy's a hard worker in the hospital or hard worker here and there. Then they start saying, okay, this person's
Yeah.
cool. But if we walking on the street, are we talking about just face value shit? Yo, I be feeling uncomfortable when I go to Virginia sometimes. Well, Southern Virginia, you know what I mean? Like, like it be the same
Right.
kind of static I get. Like I feel like that another black an ADOS person would get, and I feel like for that reason, I feel like
Hmm.
definitely we should also benefit from that. Now, when it comes to reparations,
That's all.
Hmm.
ADOS can have that. I'm
yeah,
with you.
Right.
ADOS can.
But we gotta understand what exactly reparations will be, or what actually it is, and that's complex in itself. And we also got to take into account like affirmative action has been bullshit for the black community in general, especially the ADOS community,
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, white women has benefited the most through
Affirmative action.
affirmative action. So that's kind of like bullshit to say. Um, affirmative action really helped us, because black women has suffered from, like in one point, black women benefited the most from affirmative action due to the fact you killing two ostracized people regarding one being black and another being female. Then they flipped it. Then they flipped it from them, in which they don't benefit at all
And
over
I feel
black
like,
men.
and I
Because we're
feel like,
now black men, it ended up being black men getting benefiting more over black women. And then it was now it's we at a point where ADOS in general, male or female, with affirmative action, it's actually not even us at all, the majority of the time. So when ADOS say, man, we need this specifically for us, they're saying that in regards to reparations or something specifically for us, it always go to other people. You know, some people say, why give reparations for slavery and all of these things? Why give reparations to black people? But yet, every year, the United States pay for Israel. Were you involved in the Holocaust or something? Why you pay 36 billion annually to Israel? I mean, look at the coronavirus. How much the United States gave to Israel? You could have gave you could have gave that to your people that descendants that were enslaved in this country that you still wage war on. You could easily did that.
so
you know
okay.
Now, what about the Japanese Americans who were forced in internment camps? They got money, they got even land, some people.
Oh, that's true.
Even our native brothers and sisters got
Yep.
reservations.
Yep,
Yeah,
they get
those
money.
reservations are bullshit, but they had something specifically for them. ADOS, every time it's something specifically for us, they have people of color as a way to ostracize the situation and kind of like downplay the situation in which they don't give it to us. Like if you look at
No, I see
this
what you said.
election, Republicans and Democrats, Trump was like, what was he going to give to black people? He said what, $500 billion, and then he said specifically black people.
And then
You
he
look at the
also said,
Democrat,
the historical black colleges too, because he was using that too.
yeah, all that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you have Democrats. They have the lift every voice and sing plan, right? And everything was people of color, and they always talk about the issue but not the people, because when you do that, you can bullshit your way out of doing anything at all. So this is the real resentment and anger in this, because many ADOS have always been like, same with, I hate the fact that black Americans look bad in the acting world in regards to our British actors
Oh yeah,
coming
that's
in.
a
You
big
see
one.
what I'm saying? Like I hate the fact that we in the bad side of that, because
On top.
again, when someone say, well, you know, the African American, they played African characters, why can't they play this? Why can't British actors play an American character? Well, here's the thing. If it was in the UK, I could understand that, because here's the thing. The same with like South Africa, for instance, has a tremendous film industry. It's
Mm-hmm.
really up and coming.
And
It's
so
I
does
mean, they're
I
dominant.
think so does Nigeria with
And
their film
Nigeria as
industry.
well, but
Yeah.
really, really, in my opinion, because they have more money going into the production, and the quality is way up there. Again,
You say South African and
have
more Western. That's like by Western standards, yeah. Because of
you're
Nollywood
right.
is
Nollywood is a monster.
yeah, it's its own thing.
Yeah, it's its own thing. Nollywood is a monster, though. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
Um, but I can use Nollywood. For example, my friend, he's a filmmaker. in Africa, in Nigeria specifically. He offered me the role to play Patrice Lumumba. He said, "Play Patrice Lumumba." I said, "I'd rather play someone a supporting, but I want you to give it to the actual people here because this movie is being made in Nigeria." He came out with a film called um, Herbert Macaulay Affair.
That's a
That's
Nigerian.
his name. Yeah, he
Mhm.
came out with Herbert Macaulay Affair, and he's like, "Yo, we was thinking about doing another movie on Patrice Lumumba." I'm like, "Why don't you give it to the actual tribe or the actual people that Patrice Lumumba comes
Is
from
that
to
Congo?
make their people proud?" You see?
Hmm.
And here, that courtesy is not happening to us because Harriet Tubman, most of our real political figures are being played by non ADOS people. Our
Yeah.
ADOS historical figures are not played.
You
And
know.
not only that, the African American role is played by the British actor, in which, look, get your money, man. Succeed. I want you to be wealthy. You know, John Boyega is tremendous.
Yeah.
I want you to succeed. But we have to be honest here that in America, they love to subjugate its people. Every country has been against its own people in regards to immigrants, you see. So that's nothing new.
Me
That's
myself.
nothing exclusive to America.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
But in regards to this film industry, I hate the fact that we're on the end of this because here's the thing.
Hmm.
What if African Americans went to South Africa or Nigeria, in which now South Africans or Nigerians, they probably never had a $20 million film, and now you got a $20 million film and not the people's benefiting. African Americans are now benefiting. Look, we got Taraji P. Henson playing your historical figures and things like that.
We have that though.
And not but in South Africa, in Nigeria, not in America. I'm talking about in
Yeah, like
your
the
own country.
Last King of Scotland, Hotel Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's
these are
true.
all from production companies in America. So you're gonna that's only common sense to hire
they were,
people
but they
in
were
America.
no, but
But
they were
but
representing
yeah, but
Africa.
they're representing Africans.
Yeah, but it's still made in because again, in Nigeria, you're gonna hire your own people to play. They got Nigerians playing African Americans in Nigeria. No one's gonna be having a problem because it's in Nigeria. And what can you do? What can you do? You know, you could probably find an American and African American in Nigeria. You probably could find one. But how long were you gonna take for a production? How much you gonna pay for? You know what I mean? So if it's in it's your own country, of course, you know. But I understand again, Hollywood is the biggest film industry in the world, so people looking at it as that instead of a reality in regards to you know people.
But I also think, don't you think it's because also the industry and all these people are looking for their next role, and they're looking for the next thing, whether it's a British actor or American actor. They just like the
Hmm.
the director, they're looking for the next best thing too.
Hmm.
But I
Now
hear what
here's the
you're
thing:
saying.
it's not necessarily the next best thing because you also got to understand the history of Hollywood. Hollywood has always, and I'm glad I kind of bored away the stream a little bit with my rambling. Forgive me for rambling, y'all. If I was rambling a little bit too
No,
much,
it's good, bro.
it's 6 in the morning here where I'm
Oh my
at. So
gosh.
Yeah,
it's,
Oh wow, it's
that's
that
why I feel
late?
bad. But yo,
It's
bro, really
it's late.
appreciate this. Like you've taught us a lot. I'm not gonna lie, we've had a very beautiful conversation today.
yeah. But let me finish this real quick
Continue.
in regards to what was I on? I was on the film industry here.
Yes.
And
Like
Hollywood has
actors.
always again been against our people because even before it was a British actor problem or a black a non-ADOS problem in Hollywood. Hollywood has always tried to take things away from the actual people who's trying their hardest the most. For example, in the 90s, what was the biggest movies in the black movies in the 90s? It was movies that had rappers that would had no experience majority of the time in acting, but they had big movies, Tupac, Will Smith, DMX, everyone had Ice Cube, and that took away from a lot of our trained actors from Juilliard, LaGuardia, and so many Duke, Yale, so many institutes. It kept them locked out, and that has nothing to do with our African immigrants. That has something to do with the fact that in our own country they always want to subjugate
You have somebody here.
ADOS people.
Somebody's here. Do you guys see that? Hello?
Hello, hello. Do you have something to say, Rabbi? Let me see. Let me see who this person is.
Yeah, who is
I don't
this?
think there's any black Arabs. That's what someone said.
Oh,
Okay.
you don't think there's any black Arabs?
There is black Arabs.
Probably now,
I thought you said you were
probably
black Arab.
not like it's black people in the Middle East, but I don't feel like that same culture is like ancient culture
Oh, okay.
where it was
Okay.
more. Not now. I don't feel because so much has happened. People have evolved so much. Past cultures have been created and risen now that
Hmm.
mostly there are Arabic. There's people who still have that Arabic blood in them, that bloodline as well. But again, so much have changed for that. Same with like, when I say Moors, so much has changed in regards to that in that very complex way. And same with the Egyptians. So when they say, well, Egyptians aren't black or North Africans aren't black, it's like, come on, get out of here. Get out of here. But a lot has changed to form that opinion. A lot
True.
has changed to form that opinion, you
So
know?
then I have a question for you. So because you talked about all of us like uniting. So how do we move forward as a new
That's a
generation
good question.
Mhm.
of African immigrants and African Americans to form a whether socio political like or economic alliances? How do we move
Yeah.
forward then?
Well, I honestly feel that we have to be unapologetic with the parasites of our people. All of us. We
Hmm.
have people who have been conditioned by this so much that they have become parasites. They are terrorists of our own people. They rape our people. They molest our people. They terrorize our people in our communities all over the world. They are individuals who uh, want the best of our people and want to turn our people into parasites. You cannot survive in Chicago streets and
Wow.
Compton streets and New York streets unless you are like these parasites. So
Hmm.
we have to be, and I have to say it that way, parasites, because we have to be unapologetic to them and move away from them. It's individuals who are black men and black women who, abuse black women, abuse and black men, black boys. It's people in our communities who say, well, especially in America, I don't know about the continental Africans. Anyone could say this in the comments, but it's people in America who, if you are not ignorant, you are seen as less than and
Yeah.
you're going to be bullied, you're going to be ridiculed, you're going to be hurt. So we have to be very unapologetic to these terrorists of our own people as well. Yeah, I said a lot about white supremacy. I said a lot about white people, but now we cannot just leave it at white people and not correct these parasites in regards to being unapologetic and not fucking with them anymore. See, we due to the fact we don't own a, a lot of industries, we
Mhm.
don't own damn near any industry. We have been manipulated by so many people who want to eliminate us and subjugate us. So they empowered our parasites. That's why someone can be, as a rapper, can be very colorist, for example. They can be very uh misogynistic in a way it don't even make fucking sense.
That's facts.
But they're propped up because now you're going to see black men as that. You're going to see this is how black and other black boys who also have the father taken out of the home by Democrats as well as Republicans. They're going to grow up and be like a Little Wayne or something like that. You feel me? So we as a people who is awakened have to realize this. We the 5%. Like, 5% nation always say, they're the 5%. They're gonna wake their job is to wake up the rest of our people while the 1% is trying to subjugate that. We have to be like that. We have to do it in our own lives, in our own circles, you know. So if someone out here is a colorist or someone is an anti-African, we have to just disassociate with it. Or even anti-ADOS, we have to just disassociate with us because anyone that wants to cause division amongst our people, even if they are black, even if they feel justified in it, which a lot of it is justified in our resentments caused by
Mhm.
this. It has to have a common dialogue in which it ends with a resolution of peace and liberation. But the problem is we have to be mindful. Our people is filled with agents who are also intellectuals, who also want to say, well, like I said on Twitter, I tweeted, I said, we barely made it past the 2010s because we was saying dumb shit like black men are the weakest link.
No, they're
Yeah.
Black
saying that
women are,
now. I mean, you
bl-
you said 2000. They're saying that now, like
yeah,
constantly. Like you guys,
yeah,
like
of
Yeah.
course,
they
they're
go
saying
back
it
and
now.
forth with each other. Like I mean, and I mean the adios. They go back and forth with each other. The
Oh
women
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the men,
definitely,
and the men go
definitely,
to the
definitely.
women. It doesn't make any sense because everybody looks
Yeah,
like a fool to the other people.
thank you. We were saying things like, and we still saying it, black men are the weakest link. Black women are the downfall of the black race. We have
Yeah, that's
intellectuals
and that
who
doesn't
are
make any.
saying
And
it.
I don't understand. And that's and I don't understand that because adio like how do you say adios?
It's
You
not
guys say
ADOS. It's not exclusive to ADOS because we
Nah,
have a lot of
I ain't gonna hold you.
Nigerian.
I'll be in there. I'll be in there defending the men.
you
Like,
in there
We
too?
have,
Why?
yeah, when I see, I made a video because yo,
yeah.
look,
What are you
for
doing?
example, look at that Snapchat.
What
Look
are
at that
you
Snapchat.
doing?
No, I had to say something because yo, like the same. Yo, if you generalize, if you
Yes.
and
Well,
you're
they
saying
general.
black men, black men,
I mean,
what are you?
like,
What impression are
they
you
general.
giving the other
They
race?
generalize women too. But I like if I feel
Yes.
like you jumping in there, you being part of the problem.
No, no, no. But me jumping in there, I don't go and point fingers. But I have to say this, like, yo, first of all, if y'all want to come for a specific type of man, do
Yeah,
that,
and I
right?
agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree with
that's
that.
what we need to actually
I agree with that.
pinpoint
I agree with
exactly.
that.
But
The
due to our
generalization is wrong.
conditioning, due to our anti-black conditioning, and it's not exclusive to ADOS because majority of it I have seen
It's
it
Nigerian
be
women that be coming for it.
Nigerian. It has been
What?
Nigerian
Seriously?
Oh my god, that's
intellectual.
why I was like, yo, why are Nigerian women taking this shit so
Oh
personally?
no! Oh
Like,
Yes,
I'm
no!
trying to not get. I mean, let me not start, mom.
yes,
Yeah, let's.
yes.
You better not
Look,
stop.
look who owns Shade Room, and it's
A
like,
Nigerian woman.
Really?
yes,
I didn't. No, I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yo,
that.
no lie,
yes,
like you go on TikTok, I'll be like, yo, these Nigerian women are, let me not say sick, but like, yo, they, not all of them, of course.
right.
Some. You
Hmm.
mean some?
Some, yes.
Some.
Like those specific ones, like, they're scoring to something. It's like,
No, because you got to understand when you come here, you see a lot of toxic black males, especially black boys.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I've seen the videos of the black boys. Oh, like
yeah,
what do
and
you call that?
you
The
could swipe through
degrading.
TikTok right now. You're gonna
Yeah, the
see black
degrading
boys.
of black women. It is.
Yeah,
It's generalization. It's so disrespectful because I mean, and I agree with the. I mean, I see those. I see the comments and I agree with the women because it's so you don't have to degrade black women to uplift white women. You don't need to degrade anybody. You can just say
Right.
that's your preference and leave it at that. There's no need to, oh,
Right.
there's the colors like they what is there's a song that's like, you must be crazy out of their
Right.
mind if they think that they're gonna, if their parents think
Yeah.
that they're gonna marry a black woman or a dark skin. What it's
Hmm.
just, it's so ignorant, it's so
See, it's
beyond.
crazy. It's That's one thing because specifically with black, I see it with black women too, but
I mean, yeah, it goes both
I
ways.
see it on a bigger platform than black men. Most black men do it on social media in regards to like their little personal blogs, but it's always Trump, white society put up the black women on a bigger platform. It's going to hit Shade
Woo!
Room. It's going to hit
what, what is
it's going
that?
to hit BET. It's going to hit The Root. Like for example, uh Serena Williams. Serena Williams said, you know, yes, I married a white man, but black men ain't really treat me well. And I'm
Boom.
like, what black
Boom.
man did you actually go with?
Well,
You
maybe
dated
she dated
Brett
some.
Ratner. You dated Brett. You was in a relationship with Brett Ratner.
I
You
mean, she
dated
dated
Common.
some
Was
black
Common a
people, right?
toxic black man?
She dated some
Was
black men.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she dated Common. She
Tommy,
dated
good guy.
Keyshawn Johnson. That was pretty much it. But
Jay Jay Wave,
you
how do you
dated
know he's a
Common.
good guy? How do you know he's a
Yeah,
good
he's a
guy?
good guy. So she dated Drake. So
He dated
who
Drake.
exactly? Yo, who is biracial, but she dated Brett Ratner, who is he has allegations on him. You feel me? So it's like,
I know
and
that.
that's put on a platform because you got to
But
understand
but
our divisions is so profitable because now you could keep us dependent and being a consumer because black people globally are being conditioned to be a permanent underclass. We're locked out of industries and we need to understand this now. So that way we can stop bullshitting with the Chinese and the anyone and even ourselves and start owning as much as we can because and realizing like, look, you need to start pushing out information that's better for our people than this bullshit sensationalism that is causing a damaged people who haven't really had counseling, never had counseling, never mental health never was acknowledged or
yeah, and what?
respected.
Yeah, why? What, I mean, and I think people that I do think people that need to go to therapy, whether wherever they need to go to therapy, they need to go to. If you need to go to therapy, I think people need to go. And some of those colorists, um, whether
Yeah.
it's men or women, or whether it's
Hmm.
whoever is doing those things on TikTok, you can tell there's issues, there's deeper issues there. Because
Thank
someone will say
you.
talking about like, oh, this happened to me in grade school, then you need to seek help. Then move forward
Right.
because I'm all for therapy
Yeah.
because it helps people develop and move
Absolutely.
forward.
Because it's going to take a lot of I wish reparations could be that too. You know what I mean? In which it can cover mental health, and we need things that can kind of condition our people to start understanding and loving ourselves enough to reciprocate it amongst each other. And
But
Mhm.
it's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that because since a child, white Jesus, white Santa, your white teacher, all of these are beautiful. Black, everything is bad. Everything is horrible. African, everything is sick. Children, in America, they show Africa as war torn, poverty. Like, come on, man. I know so many
like
rich
that
people.
video, J Wave, the Asian guy video. What,
That
I don't know.
Asian guy, and he's doing that for
Yeah,
Chinese people to see.
It's
The
so
yeah.
ignorant. It's so
Chinese
ignorant.
impression of
That's ridiculous.
yeah.
But here's the thing. I want and I have people in the African Union that follow me on Twitter, and I DM them
Yo,
this,
what's
and
what's up,
they
bro?
hit me with a smiley face. But I said the African Union needs to sue Western media for misrepresentation,
Shoot.
for what they call it in law when like defamation of
The-
character.
Yo, they don't have the balls. I dare them. They don't have the balls. Straight up.
You
I
feel me? Yeah.
like you saw when the president of the African Union, Chirumbora, stood up to started talking about how the French were treating the francophone countries wrongly by having their funds in a monetary fund and allocating their GDP back to them
Right.
on a monthly
Right.
basis. Yo, they kicked it off.
Yeah.
This
Hello?
is man. Look, our generation is the generation to wake up, and we gotta mobilize, man. That's all I
We
gotta.
have to do that. We have to do that. And it's very important. And it's sad because our people still have to battle these parasites every day when we walk the streets in whatever country. The rapes. I have a girl. She's super beautiful in South Africa. Man, she been raped so many times it makes no fucking
Yo, I
sense.
heard rape is a big thing in South Africa.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it
know,
is. It's a huge thing.
and it really makes me sick because we have to start. Now, they had many different situations, but our people are going through that all over the world, specifically us, that, and it's not exclusive to us, but we need to fix. And we have to do that by pushing the parasites the fuck out. Stop making them our heroes. Stop making them the macho. They're not manly. They're fucking coon. They're weak. They have no backbone.
Fact,
What's manly? Someone like Malcolm X who would tell you he don't give a fuck if you white, black. He's sitting in front of you. If you Christian, if you agree or not, he'll tell you what he feels and how he feels and tell you, you slap me, I slap the shit out of you back. But if you respect me, I respect you back. And guess what? I'm proud of my features. I'm proud of who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of our women. You feel me? So we
fact.
have to get into that sense. We have to get into that. And it's very important.
Bro, this.
Hey, Jay, wait, before we probably, I'm sure we're going to end things soon. But
Yeah.
before we go, is there any, what are they saying? Do they have any questions? Because I'm not looking at the TikTok.
No.
Someone said,
Let's see. Okay. Yeah. You could. Yeah, bro. You got it.
Go ahead.
yeah, someone said, I don't know if Malachi wants to, but can I explain how North Africans are natives? A lot of misinformation.
Yeah, let them.
Well, North Africans, you mean natives in regards to America?
Are they still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still here. Is native in regards to America. Well, North Africans have already see America is Africa as well. See, Georgia specifically is still Morocco. So
What is, and I hear you, it's not, but it's not just America, it's also Europe, because there's so many other, it's European, and what else? Isn't it, is it China too, I think? China's getting, everybody's feel like everybody's getting something from Africa.
no, and what he's speaking on in regards to like our history, our identity,
Oh, okay,
and
okay,
and
yeah.
past stuff because politically there's a thing called I believe it's the Moroccan Compromise. But you can Google this in which the Moroccan Treaty is, you know, Georgia, Florida, all of that was Morocco. Because when it was Pangea, that's where it was connected. So that's how we came over anyway, and that's how and the history kept with that. So once uh the Arab Moors, which is the actual term called Almoravids, they are the ones who um, brung it up and made a political treaty once America was officially a country, and Morocco was the first nation to acknowledge America as a country. So that's why a lot of that plays in itself.
I hear you. Hey, J Wave.
Yes.
So now I'm curious. What do you? How? Okay, so Malachi did tell us how we can move forward. What do you? How do you think we can move forward? Like Ados
Monica
and
is
us.
amazing, man.
I
She's
won't,
just amazing, man.
I won't lie to you. Like that question is a multi-layered question. Like I, I could like I can like start telling you ideas and stuff, but I feel like that's honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Black people,
Hmm.
we are
Hmm.
stubborn people.
Yeah,
Okay,
we are.
we are very stubborn people, and like the only
Hmm.
way we could deal with it is literally kind of like I'm on the same page with Malachi in the sense that like we kind of have to be aggressive towards the people. First of all, yeah, we're towards the people who are like perpetuating this, the perpetuating this
Holding us back.
yeah, exactly. The things that we know to be wrong, and
Right.
also we also have to. The biggest thing I think is having these kind of conversations and understanding each other, because of,
Hmm.
because I realized that even me, I was very, very, very when it comes to ADOS people because of my
Hmm.
experiences too.
Hmm.
I used to be very hard, like
Hmm.
my,
Right.
towards them. I close it
Hmm.
Hmm.
thing, But like it was from that first conversation we had while when he was in the chat writing all that stuff, and I started thinking like, hey, this actually it is some like because before you tell me some shit about system, I'm gonna shut you down type shit. I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, you
Right.
like I came from Africa, my parents, I'm gonna start going into
Right.
or whatever. But
Hmm.
Right.
I started realizing, when I realized when the Somalis came for my ass. That's when my eyes opened. I was like, oh nah, this shit is different. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But like after that experience, it kind of made me realize, like, oh nah, this shit right here,
Hmm.
even the way the Somalis is coming, it's not even supposed to be like that. But it's because of the way shit is set up. And then it got to the point where I'm seeing Africans who we know will be viewed as black in America telling me they're not black. Look, for example, Abdi. I love Abdi. Thank you very much, bro. You're cool. Like you've done a lot, like,
Hmm.
teaching
Hmm.
us stuff. But like even Abdi saying like, black, like we do understand black is a racial construct, all that stuff. But like
Definitely.
they damn Somali corner is here too. I know he wants to talk, but we about to leave.
Yeah.
I told him like I added him on TikTok, so next time he'll be here like early to talk. But
Hmm.
like I understand black is a racial construct, but the way you guys like the Somalis are pushing back on the black, I know for a fact it's not only the whole conceptual aspect. There's also a
Hmm.
social aspect to it for them. They
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that right there is to me is not acceptable because right there is already pushing us back. But I'm not even gonna go too deep into that because Somali corner gonna be like, yo, what the hell, bro? I'm here to talk with my people type shit. So I ain't but we gonna talk like but that's basically how I look at it. Like we
I
have
want
to
to
keep
hear. I want to really hear Monica's perspective in regards to everything. Actually, you know what I mean? That's what I was really interested in because we was the only ones like really going back and forth in the comments,
Yeah.
expressing things.
yep.
I want to hear. In regards to what do you feel our people really need to do as well?
I my thing is, I think as long as there's a cultural barrier, it's going to breed ignorance. So there needs
True.
to be like a bridge to gap between both groups. That need to we need to disconnect ourselves from existing stereotypes first that
Phew.
seem to divide us, because I think that's still
Yeah.
there for
Yeah.
some people.
That we all inherited, and our children is going to inherit if we don't do anything about it.
Yeah, because even because if you ever go on any kind of, whether it's TikTok, when you see African Americans and Africans going back at it, it's it goes back to stereotypes. They go
Oh,
back
most
and forth with,
definitely.
yeah, they go back and forth with stereotypes. And I think as long as that culture barrier,
Hmm.
if it's there of the ignorance, is gonna that's where we need to bridge that gap
Yeah,
for between
because
both
I'm gonna
groups.
tell you a quick story. I don't mean to go too long. Uh, when I first put my feet on the continent, everyone was acting like I was 50 Cent. It's like there's like yo they they had like fake chains and it was like yo man I'm jiggy man I'm like I'm really down with it
Oh
I'm
no.
like you man I'm like you and I'm like yeah you is like me but we not 50 all 50 Cent man we're not 50 Cent
See the
you know
stereotype they have?
it's the stereotypes that is not in our control in regards to the creation of them but we all inherited I still remember that you
And we need to disconnect. We need to disconnect. If individual, if anybody has stereotypes about, we need to disconnect those, disconnect ourselves from those existing stereotypes, because if that's still there, it's
Mhm.
gonna keep breeding ignorance. That's just how I feel
Absolutely.
about it.
Absolutely. You know, and I honestly feel once we drop our tribalism altogether, but not exclusive, not like extensively to the point where we don't fight for our own. Like I have my own philosophy in which I call black liberationalism because when I was talking to a South African who was against ADOS, and she is a part of the political party there that's trying to get their land back. So she supports Julius Malema. I was She was pushing Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is a beautiful philosophy, beautiful belief. But the problem with Pan-Africanism is it kind of it doesn't reach our own individual struggles. So I came up with a concept called Black liberationalism, in which regardless of where you are in the world, regardless of whatever history that you inherited, we all have to fight for a common goal of liberating our people under our blackness, our skin, our race, our melanin, and liberate our people first before we can be uh, Pan Africanists or black nationalists. We got to have a nation first. We don't have a nation. We have bullshit nationalities in which we don't even benefit from. Other people benefit more than us. All of us, not just America. It's not an ADOS thing, or no. A lot of other ethnic groups, other race of people benefit from our own place. So we have to liberate our people all over the world under our blackness, but not exclusive to it in regards to the fact that, because I know how people just hate the word black, but black is what we have been under attack in, because you have to understand white supremacy is the fear of genetic annihilation that white people have. They may not even know they have it sometimes. You know, it's just a genetic thing that's in them, because you have to understand what melanin is. Melanin ain't nothing but carbon, man. But it's deeper than that. Carbon is everything. Carbon is in everything. And that means black people who have more melanin is more one with everything. Because in Africa, for example, when we were before colonialism, before slavery, before all of this bullshit, our people had the freedom to do whatever we wanted to do. If you wanted to eat, food was right there. We so free that we can be naked. We have that much freedom. That says a lot about our people. That we have so much freedom that being naked is not even a problem in many cultures. Now, once people lost melanin, who were also African people, when we was migrating, lost their melanin, they lost their oneness with the earth. So it was more, because you got to understand, when I was talking about the Grimaldians, these are the people I'm talking about, the Grimaldians. When they was behind a block of ice, you know, people talk about black on black violence. White people killed each other more than we can ever kill each other today throughout history, throughout their own history, till the Grimaldian period opened up and the entire world was traveling, and you're seeing different cultures, different race of people now coming up in our evolutionary period and stuff. And now it became a thing in which white supremacy had to be born, because genetically they're not strong enough. Genetically, due to the fact they lack so much significant melanin. So, and also, we all know that some things we do in culture, I don't know how this became a me teaching, but some things we did in culture,
Hmm.
it we inherited today. Just like some domesticated dogs howl at the moon, white people, white people, black people, we still inherited ancestral things, things that our ancestors, the strength that our ancestors have, the
Hmm.
genes that our ancestors have, we got it. And the same flaws that our ancestors have, we got it. And that's the same with the Caucasian race. See, when they was their ancestors were, when we was already building up Africa and making Africa lit, as we call it, They was there having to have wars. They had to rape to survive, to actually breed. You know, they had to hunt and kill. In Africa, we didn't have to always hunt and kill for our food. We already had developed communities and societies all through Africa, not only just in all through the world. You know, even in the Americas, we already had advanced societies. More pyramids in the Americas than it is in the continent. So we have to acknowledge that by understanding what white supremacy is. It's their fear. That's why if a black person stick a toe in a tub, or not a tub, a pool, they drain the whole motherfucking pool out. Because it what our melanin represents. It represents a weapon. It represents the erasing of them. So that's why now, since the birth rate has is declining for the white race, and really everyone, but monstrously so for the white race, which has always been the thing, in which they always knew, they have to now breed in with us to survive, to get our melanin. So that's why there's these white, the biracial situation, in which white men, black men with white and black women. You know what I mean? You got white men trying to get black women. You have white women trying to get black men, and we all conditioned to submit to them due to how we see whiteness in general. You know, I seen a whole march in, I believe it was Nigeria. I could be wrong. No, it was they had a whole march. It was Nigeria. They had a whole march for Trump. That shit was crazy. You saw
Well,
that?
Who
yeah,
had a march for Trump?
It was
in Nigeria.
Yeah, it was in Nigeria, but
All
they
Nigerians,
had a whole march to celebrate Trump.
the guys, we
You
about
know,
to put it up though, because of
Conser- because of what?
it, we gotta go. It's probably almost 7 a.m. for Malachi. I know
yeah,
he.
it's
Oh
seven
yeah, we
a.m.
should
here.
we should go. But
Yeah,
It's seven
but I do
a.m.
have a
here.
question. Why are they supporting? Why are they? I mean, I can. They are they heavily conservative in Nigeria?
the thing about it is this, right? Nigeria is over conservatism because I
Hmm.
wouldn't even say it's the Muslims of Nigeria. I would say it's the Christians, right?
Hmm.
Over conservatism, the Christians in Nigeria are very, very, very similar to what they call the what's the name of this religious group in America? The Christians, the
Evangelic. I can't say
evangelicals.
evangelicals. I can't say
Nigerians
it.
are evangelicals, literally.
Yeah.
Evangelicals. Yes, that's
Same way
them.
Americans are. Like, see, I grew up. I'm a Baptist. Now,
Okay.
Hmm.
actually, where does Baptist come from? It's an American. I just found out it's an American thing.
And actually Baptists are very strict. They're very strict when it comes to religious too. So like when you
Right.
say that, I'm like, yeah, like at least over here in America, they're very
Right.
strict.
And you say you live in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you would know, like, you would the account because that's where they at. They're in the Midwest area,
Hmm.
Hmm.
concentrated in America, and like going south to Texas area, Baptist all over. So like
Yeah.
Nigerians are super evangelical. So I don't know if you noticed that all the evangelical preachers were predicting Trump going to win.
Oh.
Right.
Like
Okay.
they were predicting it to the point where they the predictions came, like it didn't come to pass, and they said they still don't believe it that God is going to make
Hmm.
that type. So like
Yeah.
that's how
Right.
Nigerians go. They don't care about race when it comes to God shit, man.
Hmm.
And which I can understand, but did they forget what Trump said all about like the shithole countries and all that stuff?
They don't care.
See, again, the problem is with through the Christianity. See, Christianity is also a part of why we are so fucking toxic in America specifically. It's because it Christianity in itself, especially American Christianity, and I have to say American Christianity because in Ethiopia and possibly Somalia, I'm gonna just say East African to be kind of political correct. There's a different form of Christianity that's totally far from white supremacist contaminated Christianity. The Christianity that you get when you have King James, that is a Christianity that is for you to be more servant. servitude to white supremacy because a lot of the things are taken out. A lot of characters have been manipulated. A lot of stories have been manipulated, and it's against its original form. And a lot of our people, for example, in America, there is, you can look this up, there is a black Bible and a white Bible. For white people, one for white people, one for black people. This is religion we're talking about. You can look at a black Christian Bible, and it's actually a picture of it. You probably see a picture of it, in which they kept things like Exodus in there, the Old Testament, all this stuff. All this to condition our people to be subservient. And that hasn't ended. That hasn't ended because I honestly feel black people should get away from, if you can't drop Christianity because you love the concept of Jesus, I can really historically break down what happened to Christianity, but I don't want to offend nobody.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Egyptians?
I From not only that to
No, that,
Yahshua, language, Jesus, all of that wasn't in the period in which it was supposed to be. These characters exist because the letter J wasn't even created. That's a English. That literally shows you that it was white people. That's not Hebrew. There ain't no letter J in the Hebrew. It was Y, you know, and it was Yahshua, you know. But what I'm trying to say is they weaponize white supremacists weaponize Christianity to colonize the world. So that way they have better control because our societies were only the ones that submitted through religion. Egypt was able to be great because of this, because they had so many different faiths and religious beliefs over time, you know, from monotheistic to polytheistic. You see what I'm saying?
hmm
So, and the whole world saw how amazing that was. Same with Nubia. Nubia at one point had many different religions, and that controls the people. So when you look at it today, they just inheriting this because white people is pushing that you'll be better with this. Got to go to Jesus. You have to do that because that way you can control people. You're not even thinking for yourself. You're not even questioning the Bible because you already been broken. You see, so you see why so many black people in America are Democrat. It's because they're not questioning because you've been conditioned to not question it from your religion. They even say in Christianity in the church, don't question God. What? We're not questioning our creator. We're questioning the context in which you're saying God, you're speaking from. We're questioning that. So, right. I just read something. It was talking about Christians. And all of this has conditioned our people to be against ourselves. So in Nigeria, this is going on. I mean, I seen a whole statue as big as a face of Jesus, white Jesus, in Nigeria. That was huge because they know what it controls. The people, it makes them want to pay money. They spend money, and all these ministers are rich while the people are poor. You know, and also you don't think for yourself under these religions. So
yo, it's okay, guys. Like, I got it.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
to.
We should go.
Like,
What
yeah,
is gonna
man. But
what?
y'all gotta message me.
So what's gonna be the next topic?
what? Sorry, I didn't hear it. So is there someone else in the group?
No, it's Malaka. He said you got to message him.
Oh, most definitely. Yo, bro, I want you. I want to know. I want your Twitter too. I don't know if you don't have to announce it here, but if you want, you could. But like, I'd like to, because it seemed like you be active on Twitter and shit.
So
Yeah,
what's gonna be your
Jesus
next
was in
topic?
fact black. Matter of fact, Jesus was black. Yes, but he was not named Jesus.
Okay.
But again, that's in context. You're speaking on. You got to speak on context, but also, and I'm only saying that for Christians, but I have another breakdown of Christianity because you also have to understand the Council of Nicaea,
I have to.
creation.
I have to. Because if I don't do this, it's gonna keep going. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
Let me
don't want
go.
to
Let me
move,
go.
but like I have to start
Yeah,
doing.
she just said that in my bad. My bad.
No, no. Like the last one too kind of went on to my. Yeah. No, I gotta
Yeah,
start.
don't read the comments. Don't read.
Yeah, I gotta
What's
start.
wrong with the comments?
It's good. It's good. Everybody asking
Yeah,
questions.
now it's starting
Everybody asking
to.
great questions.
Like yeah, we could talk on here on the TikTok or whatever, but like this one I'm about to end it.
Yeah, okay, okay. Sounds good. Bye bye, guys. It was
Yo,
nice chatting
Yeah.
with you guys.
yo, this has been a good podcast, good episode. Yo, we learned a lot. I want to thank Malachi and Monica for having. We had two different sides of the spectrum. We had a
Definitely.
ADOS member, a man. We had an African diaspora female. I mean, African continental female. Of course, I was there. I'm a continental African male.
Yes, you are too.
Good
And
conversation.
thank you for having us on this platform, man.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
I appreciate you guys very much so because this has been very educative
It
and
was. It
It
was.
feels more therapeutic than the last one, the
Yeah, it
Somali
was.
one.
yeah.
I mean,
Last one was entertaining, but it wasn't. Haji started going in, bro.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
calling each other names.
I was like,
Yeah.
I
Lord,
was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Haji
I
started.
just hate our divisions, man. I hate our divisions, like with a
Yeah, man,
passion.
and
All of them.
that's why like I don't. Yeah, I don't like the division things. Like especially if you hold power in the community or you have some kind of influence, and
Right.
okay, you feel like somebody else did something or something like that. Of course,
Hmm.
you already know calling like coming at them a certain way in front of your followers is going to incite your followers to go at
Yeah,
them. It's just like
Right.
exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
when I made that video towards the Chinese man, it's because I know that people that follow me gonna go for the Chinese man.
Yep.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. So we should just as all I know. Some people don't want to be called black, but as whatever we are, that the white man looks at black. Please,
Yeah.
let's just try to hold each other down. Like I don't mind having other people on my platform. Like well, let's just
Hmm.
respect each other and stuff. You know.
I agree.
You
Because
know.
that's,
What
I mean,
time
that's
is
the
it
only
where you
way,
all at?
and that's the only way we're gonna get better. Is we listen to each other and educate each other.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I completely
Absolutely.
agree. I
So,
completely agree.
Marka, we're gonna have to have another episode on history talk, and
Yeah, man.
honestly, we might have like history wise, Somali corner. He like be on.
He's good. He's
He's good.
good.
I
He's
can't. I can't.
really, really good. You should
Yeah,
definitely
well,
have
if
them.
if that's the case, I'm gonna try to find I got people who real scholars as
Bro,
well.
please bring him on
Uh,
because it seems like
gotta get them.
corner knows his stuff a lot, and you could bring your people and shit.
And I think with that one, I think it should be an open dialogue because I'm sure there's people in the comment sections that want to get in, especially when it comes to
Yeah, the reason
historical.
why I didn't want a lot of people coming in because like the last one, people was arguing back and forth, cussing people out.
Yeah,
Look, man, you can disagree with me, man. I don't care. It's okay. I love you. I still love you. Hey, I said a lot of stuff that people disagreed on. I mean, history right there, you can really dig. If you really dig, you'll find the base of what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
either way, I sleep easy.
yeah,
I just want peace for all of our people.
me too, man. No hate, just peace.
yeah. That makes
Definitely.
sense. All right.
Definitely.
Guys, have a
But
good
Monica, you got to link with me.
one.
Huh?
Monica, that's you.
What? I'm sorry.
Monica,
What'd you say?
you got to link with me. We got to link up.
Yeah, sure, sure. Well, this was awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much. I mean, I learned stuff. I learned a lot from
Hmm.
everybody. So I appreciate that because I mean I took in a lot of information and I appreciate that.
Yes. Me
Excellent.
too.
Excellent. I wish there was better videos and better people in the ADOS community to translate the message in a more positive light. That's one thing I really do wish can happen. Because I feel like if I do it per se, they're gonna be like trying to stop the liberation aspect. Because my thing is more black liberationist than ADOS
Potatoes.
alone.
Saying, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you can't serve two masters because when you pick one, the other's gonna be automatic.
Right.
Yeah, on the back burner. All
Well,
right.
on
So,
that note, man, Peace and blessings to everyone.